Wagwan, everyone. This week on the UBF podcast,
we are chatting about everything A-League, the elimination finals that have happened, the Central Coast Mariners making the final, and
also Arsenal out of the Champions League. What a wonderful day. But also I'm joined with Ivan Peric's, the one that had the poster of his in his rooms, Mr. Marin Jakolis. Marin, how are you?
Hello, people. How are you?
Excited to be on the UBF podcast, man?
Very excited with the lovely company. Very, very excited.
Is this one of your greatest career achievements?
Yes, I would put in top two. Yeah.
Top two? MacArthur first.
Yeah, exactly.
well, it's not just Marin here. Luke, Brattan, how are you, mate?
Good.
Good, you know, we've missed you since you've left Sydney.
Miss you too, bro.
Did you miss him or did you miss the club?
Mate, he misses me. He misses me.
Miss him, bro.
You can't miss me when you're on the field. Some guy stands up. He's 6'6". You know, you can't.
It's pretty hard. You stick it like a sore thumb. Tall poppy syndrome.
That's fine. Anyway, look. Start out with a shout out to the Lightweight Athletic Club.
Yep.
Use UBF 15 for 15% off all your Lightweight Athletic purchases. So, boys, when you go home and you go through the Lightweight Athletic Club, you know, on the website, UBF 15. And,
Thank you.
Just write your name at the bottom. He'll put something special in there for you. Just for you, Luke.
Happy days.
Marin.
He needs an active wear compression long sleeve.
Yeah, I need something. Yeah.
What's on your shirt there, man?
This one.
Yeah.
It's my dear friend. Can I say his name?
So.
Tomislav Uskok. Thank you very
Tommy.
much, brother.
Oh.
It's his collab with his friend.
Mm.
So, yeah, looks nice, huh?
No, actually, it looks really nice.
You like it?
I like it.
Thank you. I'll get Tommy to get you some.
I didn't get one.
Yeah, it's.
I didn't get one. I didn't get a photo at presentation night with all the Croatian boys.
Didn't you win an award? Yeah. Wasn't it Player of the Year?
I'd rather get the photo with the
The
pros,
Croatian
you know,
boys.
but
The Brates.
I didn't get the phone call, bro. I didn't get the message, but
Marin, why are you looking
What
at
was
me
that,
like
Marin?
that,
What was
man?
that?
It just happened so quick. You know, like
So it wasn't premeditated. It wasn't premeditated.
I pass the guy the ball every single game. Every time I get the ball, I pass to him. All I want is a photo.
Well, ask the left winger. Do you want it to your feet or do you want it in the channel? Do you want
He doesn't run. He doesn't run
sometimes,
behind.
you know what? It was different. Sometimes I want zig, he goes zag. When I go zag, he goes zig. So sometimes we're not on the same page, you know. No,
Was
but
this
no,
your teammates?
for real, no. This year, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I felt sorry after that I didn't take a photo with him.
Luke, apology accepted.
Of course.
Oh, you got to ask him.
No, I don't need to. I know.
Yes,
He already know.
yes.
He already know. I just didn't even think about it.
Look, but 13 goals, I believe 9 assists as well during the season. You've had an unbelievable year, Marin.
Yeah.
Surely we can forgive that.
Yeah, 100%.
Surely.
100%.
Did you get more assists than Luke this year?
I hope so.
Yeah. I think so. I think so.
It's his job.
It's been good. Let's just kick into it. The A-League Elimination Finals have happened this weekend.
Where was MacArthur in the finals, boys?
Ha ha.
Where's Wanderers? In the
Where's
finals?
Wanderers?
We were there. That's what we're going to talk about, actually.
So
I saw
I-
50 minutes only.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say that I think that if MacArthur were in place of the team I'm about to just talk about, I think they would put up a better fight.
Is Marin on the field or off the field?
Marin is
100%.
definitely on the field. Mate,
100%.
Listen. I'm going to start off as the only Wanderers fan. We'll convince Marin to become.
we're not going to start that. We'll get to the
No,
Wanderers.
but just
No,
a
I'm
thing.
not starting with the Wanderers just yet. Hold your horse.
Fair
Hold
enough,
your horse.
fair enough. Go.
Wesley United 3, Adelaide United 2. Noel Botic netted all 3 goals for Wesley United. They're in the semi-finals. They go and take on, I believe it's Melbourne City. This week. It also means that Carl Viet's time at Adelaide United is over. We'll kick into it. Noel Botic hasn't had an amazing season this year. Where do we think his ceiling lies?
Yeah, I rate him. Good player. He's goal scorer, and we haven't seen that for a while. Probably not since an Aussie one since Macca.
Yeah.
He was. I'm not saying he's on Macca's level, but yeah, he's got potential there. He just needs someone close to him or a couple of people to help guide him and keep him grounded. And the potential is big.
Yeah, well, he's been knocking on the door recently. In terms of Socceroos, we are looking for that striker, and we've got a few of them. We've got Botic, we've got Goodwin, we've got the likes of potentially Adrian Segicic after the season he's had. He can play up front, but I think it's between Noel Botic and Archie Goodwin. When it comes to Marin, Calviet leaving, how big of a difference do you think that's going to have on Adelaide next year?
I mean, you could see when they announced that he's leaving, that it started to be a little bit rough for everybody, and they were not performing last. Since we played them, like even before us, maybe 2 games, the last 6, 7, 8 rounds, they were not like, it's not Adelaide that we came there, we won 5-4. Like you score 5-4 there.
Yeah.
When I score a double, there's something wrong.
Yeah, like, Luke scores a goal is strong. Imagine double. Like
Imagine double.
something's happening. Like something's, and like we felt that we can win the game on the halftime. And usually, like I remember last year, I got belted in there with City. I think we lost like 6-0 or 5-1 or something.
Iracunda.
Yeah.
The Iracunda and Bernardo scored 2. Like they killed us. Like you come there, it's like 5-1.
Cooper Stadium.
Thank you. Bye.
Tough stadium.
We come 2-0 after 10 minutes. You're like, oh wow, what's happening?
Yeah.
2-2 or 3-2 halftime. I'm like, oh wow, this is what I expected from them.
Yeah.
And then again, like I'm thinking that since they know that, or I don't know, since the coach was actually announced that he will leave, something snapped. Like or the players don't want to play for some reasons, or coach doesn't want to do this, or like it's just. And I think this loss was like they didn't deserve to go through.
It was crazy for me because at the start of the year, Marin and Luke, they were excellent, and even you guys playing against them, you could see they were a quality side. They were drilled. For me, I'm just really interested as obviously being on the field with them. What do you think went wrong? Even you guys have been in part of change rooms where we've started so well, or we've picked up towards the back end, like the Wanderers, for example. Is it that easy? Just snaps and it goes wrong? Is it that hard to recover?
Football's funny, man. Like a team can go unbelievable for 6, 7, 8 rounds, and then all of a sudden nothing could happen, but the form just goes.
Yeah.
Confidence, a couple of injuries, an announcement of a coach, anything can happen, and form just goes out the window, and it's so hard to get that back. Like I was frustrated with us this year because not even in games, but like in parts of games, we could start unbelievable. First 20 minutes would be unreal, and then something happens like in the game, and it's like, whoa, like
Can't explain.
completely different team. It's crazy, but I think each team goes through form dips and stuff like that. And unfortunately, theirs came at the wrong time. I think you want to be going the other way into finals time.
Absolutely.
And just run me through, because like we've seen it different. Like we've talked about it throughout the year, where Klopp last season announced that he was leaving with like 15 rounds to go. Carl Viet announced that he's leaving. How big of an impact does it have? Because there's some teams that it seems like it'll push them to complete success, and then you got teams like Adelaide, who ever since that pretty much was announced, have gone even further downhill.
Even before that as well.
Yeah.
Well, Carl's been there a few years. He's done a lot for the club, and he played there. He's a club legend. So I think it's when it's someone that it's that important to the team. It's big news, and it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts everyone, and I think at the start of the season when you're watching them play, you're like, okay, they're decent, and then something happened, and they can't recover from that. But even then, you look at the Wanderers, they were going the other way.
Yeah.
And in finals football, you never know.
Yeah.
Like they were 11-12 unbeaten, and then come up against Daniel Lozani apparently, and like, you know what I mean. So it's anything can happen in finals football. It's funny, like even the A League in general. It's so up and down. Anyone can beat anyone on the day.
League.
So it is crazy, but it happens.
And just before we move on to your beloved club,
Carry
West United, how do you rate their chances, the both of you?
I don't know. For me, obviously, Muddy can speak because he's actually versed them, hence the player what we have on. For me, as an outsider looking in, I think they're so transitional. I think, boys, you can vouch for that as well. That when they get it and when they break, they got Iwasuki, who's the most gangly guy, awkward guy to tackle, alongside probably Harrison Swoy at the club. And then you've got Botic, who's in the form of his life, an absolute goal scorer. For me, besides him, Thurgate, Iwasuki, I don't see much, I'll be honest. So I think Melbourne City are going to not run away with it, but I think they'll get through to the final. Buddy?
You know what? I think that Western has a chance, obviously.
Why is that? Because the front two, you think? Or?
I just think that the way, to be fair, this when City started playing this year, I was thinking that it's impossible for them to make the finals. So many injuries, so many unlucky things happening, so many stuff happening, and I was like, okay, no way. And then somehow in some moment, when we were talking about results, we always talk about, look, Sydney versus against these Wanderers. We never talk about City. We were thinking, no way, this is
Quite
Adelaide,
achieved as well.
Auckland, we went there. So I was like thinking this will be like we need to push for that. And then some moments City was just like coming like win against this, win against that, go out, win
Quietly,
against that,
slowly.
go Auckland draw. And I was like, what's happening here? And then I watched the game. I was thinking like, oh, okay, this is like how they play. This is how they do. And now Tils came back, Lex comes back, Stevie comes back. So now they have like let's say even better squad than they had when they're starting the season. So I'm just thinking like I like how Western United played. Like it's so strange. Like you don't know. First game that we played there. Okay, it was fucking windy, but
Man,
man,
no.
this,
I took
Tiny,
this.
brother.
The ball. There's a foul
Yeah.
on like in our half,
Yeah.
and Valère went to take a quick free kick, and I was like standing right next to him, and Jed took off, and Valère went to take this free kick quick and just put it in behind, and I was standing there, bro. It went like this, and it just came all the way back, bro. Like he hit it as hard as he could, and it just came back to us, and I was in the middle of the game just laughing. I was like, Valère, good ball, bro. And he was like, he pretty much took the free kick and then tried to head it as well.
No, it was
It's so hard to play there.
So when you play there, if it's like that, like they can take the win there. Like they can.
And they're very organised.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
JA is a good coach.
It's
Very
just-
good coach.
You look at like even when they were losing 1-0, I was like, they will win this. Like they will not lose this. They will win it. Yeah, Western. I was 100% sure. And then obviously Noah is he's in the form of his life.
Yeah.
And whatever he does, it's good. So
That's the
even
goal.
if he touched the ball outside of 16, he shot, it's a goal.
Luke,
Doesn't
just
matter.
on that.
It will hit 3 people if
Yeah.
you go in the goal. It's just like that. He's in a form, and they will probably use that life.
Fair enough. Luke, on Marin's point before, when he was saying Melbourne City, those quiet achievers, how beneficial is it as a player that's been there, done that, to be those quiet achievers, to go under the radar and then bang, you're already in the final?
Yeah, it's good. It's enjoyable to play when it's like that because
No expectations.
yeah, there's no pressure, no expectations. You know, they had a lot of injuries and it was all young boys playing, and they just kept playing and playing and getting results and winning games that they probably shouldn't have won.
Mm-hmm.
And that's football. It's, you know, you just keep picking up points, picking up points, and like Marin said, all of a sudden they were just up there, like third, second, like, and
Knocking on the door.
yeah, and they got a good team, bro. Good
Yeah.
team, good players, and like Mitchell said, the players they got back, very good.
Is Lecky back or Lecky's still?
Now Lex is on the bench.
Yeah,
last
he's
week,
he's back.
He's back.
How I know he's ready. So
Before we move on to the next game, so when you guys went down to Tane, how's the Chavapi down there? Was there any?
We didn't have any, bro.
Why have you?
We
Do
didn't have-
we have-
we didn't
you know
have
Chavapi's
any.
story?
I don't know. There's like 6 Croatians in that MacArthur team. I'm sure one of them would have found their version of King Tom down there somewhere.
It's in fucking Victoria. You got Melbourne Knights and fucking Geelong.
Bro, it's
Fucking
middle of nowhere. There's nothing out
yeah,
there.
there's nothing there.
It's tiny,
I'm
bro.
saying you might have
It's
fun.
fucking artificial
Listen,
beach on the side.
I just had to make sure,
No,
you
no
know, we're doing
yeah.
a Chavapi tour around
No.
Australia at some point.
We were happy that game finished actually because it was so cold and the wind was so. We came after the game. We look at each other and we are like, "This is one of the worst games we ever played."
Yeah, that was by
was
far.
that bad.
Halfway in the
That
game,
bad.
I was like, "What are we doing?" Here?
It's
This is-
actually in the middle of nowhere, isn't
it's
it?
in the
It is
middle of
fucked,
nowhere.
yeah.
There's nothing around it, so it's just open like fields. And
Dumb
it's just
question.
windy.
How do you get there? Said it seriously. Like, is
Bro,
there an
I
extra
asked
flight?
Vanessa.
You got a bus there, bro.
I asked Vanessa. She's from Melbourne. She's born and raised there. She knows every. You tell her the part. She's like, I know this guy there. I went to the school. She knows everything.
Yeah.
I said, I sent her location. I said, where the fuck are we? Because I didn't know. She's like, what the fuck are you doing there? She's like, why would you even be there?
Why would you be
I said, Ness, we are playing here. She's like, no fucking way. That's in the mid. She said, that's in the middle of nowhere. Like literally, you are not even like, you don't even like. After 30 minutes, you feel like, oh, we are coming somewhere. You don't even know that's Melbourne.
It's 45 minutes outside the city.
It's nothing. Like
Yeah.
it's
We
nothing
stayed in the
around.
city. It took us 50 minutes.
So
on
you
the
got
bus.
Melbourne, you got Geelong, and then where the fuck is it? Like fucking north?
straight.
Of,
Nah, it's straight west, bro.
Is it near Avalon?
Past.
Past.
It's like
Past.
sunshine.
That's
Yeah,
nowhere.
up in the sunshine, some shit like that.
Ugh.
Would you live there, Martin? Because obviously you've been to Australia now for
I-
a couple of years. Would you consider living there?
I don't know even where to live there.
no.
Like where to live there.
Is there a
Like,
supermarket?
if I live in Geelong, yes, okay, we are in Geelong. But like literally, I don't know what's the closest city is like 40 minutes, man, or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you live in Melbourne, you need 55 to 1 hour every day to
'Cause-
come train there.
To go there.
Because
travel
I
there,
remember when we last went to Melbourne, we booked the flight there from Avalon, not
Yeah, because it was closer. Yeah.
Tamarine or something.
no, hold on. Which one's further away, Avalon or Tullamarine?
Avalon.
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 Avalon. Tullamarine is the one that's like
Is in
40
the
minutes away. Tullamarine is in the city. I
Yeah.
remember it was about 35-40 minutes from Avalon to get to the CBD.
It's fucked,
So
bro.
you're telling me that's even further out
Yeah.
than there. So it's like playing in the Central Coast from here,
Yeah, pretty much.
pretty much.
Yeah, it's 45, 50 minutes.
50
from
But in the Central Coast, you got stuff you can look
Yeah,
at.
you do. Yeah, it looks beautiful, man.
Well, put it this way. I want to talk about another team that's in the middle of nowhere now, the Western Sydney Wanderers.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Do you want to clap, Marin? For the...
No, no.
Who do we sing for, Martin? Oh well,
Yeah.
2-1. We mentioned before the Daniel Arzani show happened on Saturday. Neither team for me looked good enough to win that game. I walked out of there and I'm like, the Wanderers didn't deserve to lose, but neither did Victory. It was one of those games I felt where whoever took their moment, and it was a game where you needed Milanovic to step up. You needed not Kaczarski, sorry. Sapsford to set up. Sapsford, Varelo, Krajev. Krajev for me was your best player.
He just runs.
People might disagree, but he was just running up and down the field constantly that game, and your midfield didn't let you down. It was your attack.
Yeah, well, listen. Obviously, we're going to speak to. We brought these guys in for a couple of reasons, but I think obviously the Australia Cup winners as well. How difficult is it? They speak of that finals. It's just got a different edge to it. It's any team can win. We've always begged our players as fans of the Wanderers. It's like, just do it in a final series. Somehow, Luke's making the joke. I believe he's got something in his throat now currently. That's why he did that at the start. So my apologies. We would never dare question the Wanderers choking, would he?
He's won a domestic trophy.
Anyway,
Something, you know.
Karen Abdul.
At Combank.
Not come back.
Yeah,
At his
Combank.
stadium.
I've lifted a trophy at
At his
Combank.
stadium.
Hold on. Luke Brattan has more trophies than the Wanderers as a club. Is that correct?
Anyway,
Correct.
Probably.
Hold on. Martin, were you playing in the 8-1 last year?
maybe that's what he scored. No, I'm joking. But Luke, just back onto the relevant topic here.
Yeah. Wanderers that topic.
Is it a different thing, finals football? Completely, even as a player, is it like you wake up different, your pre-match routine's different?
I think it's more of like the feel, the week leading into it. There's a lot more media.
Take us through it.
Unfortunately, the A-League doesn't get a lot of media week to week.
Okay.
Like coming out to the training ground, doing interviews. There's not a lot of it, which is it's disappointing.
Absolutely.
You see the other codes, they get a lot. So I think that's the big difference is a lot of people are at the training ground doing interviews, doing content.
Yep.
There's a certain feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, unfortunately, they didn't win the game. Anything can happen. They're on a 12-game win streak, something like this. But finals football is different. And like I said before, I think the league needs the Wanderers to do well. They're a big club.
Yeah.
They need them to do well. The crowds are great. The atmosphere is great. I cop so much shit from them. Like every game, DMs. Like I can't say what the messages I get, and it's great. It's football.
Absolutely.
It brings an excitement, a banter,
and vice versa. Obviously, if Barella goes to Sky Park, obviously, vice versa.
Yeah,
So,
of course. So we need that. We need the atmosphere, and we need Wanderers to do well for the league. And this year they were great. I think they played with the freedom, and their front 3 and 4 were good. Scored a lot of goals.
You reckon Stadge is the man? Does that take him further, or
I'm not sure.
Is that the whole?
I couldn't tell you. I don't see day to day. You don't know what goes on inside the club.
Behind closed doors.
You don't see training, all that sort of stuff. But look, they performed this year. They were good. So going on that, you think so compared to the recent years, yeah. But football finals football is different.
It's a funny game.
It's a different feeling.
Yeah.
The media hype around it is what we need every week.
Correct.
I'll double down on that. Even with the Wanderers fans, like when they do well, they keep going. Like even on Saturday, like I'm an FC fan on camera. Like at the end of the day, I've
Just
come
on
out.
camera, buddy.
No. I'm an FC fan in general, but on camera, I've come out. You talk about You're at a Wanderers game. We're having a conversation with the events manager of the A-League, and like 3 RBB members come up to me. Oh, who are you going for tonight? Oh, I'm like, dude, like, all right, I'm a football fan. I'm here today as a football fan, as person of the media, as you can almost call yourself.
But you want
journalist.
that. You want that coverage. You want that for people to.
And I like that. It's because they have a feel towards it. I think what we've been missing for so long is feeling in this sport. And even with us, when we go out and do previews or we do promos, or like the one that we did recently for the derby, for the women's derby, both of us put our neck on the line for either side. What happens when you lose? Like you've gone out, he's sitting there talking about what it means to be a Wanderer and what it means, you're bleeding red and black and blah, blah, blah. You go and lose, you're like, oh, well, I'm going to hear it for the next 2 weeks. And I believe it'd be the same with you guys. Like we hyped up the MacArthur game against Wanderers, and people are like, who the fuck are you doing that at MacArthur? I'm like, dude, we love football. We want it to grow.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's what's wrong with the A-League. Everyone's so negative.
Facts.
Everyone's so negative.
Yeah.
Man, you talk to the. I played golf today with Kevin Bolly, and I was just talking to him about. He's played in some big teams, right? Big leagues.
Yeah.
I just said to him, what do you think of the standard? He goes, man, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Some very good players.
Yeah.
He goes, they could go play in Europe easily.
Yeah.
But people, and I was like, oh, was it better than what you expected? He's like, 100%. People just shit on,
At every opportunity.
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
At every opportunity.
including ourselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, get out and watch the games. Go to the games. The quality is good. The quality's there.
Well, just on that, I think the person next to me here has got abundance of experience on that. So, Martin, you came here in 2023, I believe.
Yeah.
You came here. First thoughts, be honest, from your expectation from France.
Listen, how typical people in outside of Australia think Australia is just the kangaroos and the koalas, and that's what you see.
I can vouch for that in the village of Croatia. I can vouch.
Yeah,
for
no,
that.
snakes. Like literally, like it's like that. Like I had a chat with a couple of my friends, or the newspaper guy from Croatia. He called media. He called me. He's like, "What's the wildest animal you saw on the street?" Like, mate, if you see Sydney and Melbourne and where you are, you'll be like, "Oh man, like."
Yeah.
Divota.
You know,
Beautiful.
you cannot compare.
No.
Like, and when I was coming here, luckily my father was living here for 15 years, so he told me that his dream was always to come back. He's like, I loved Australia. Australia is something in his head. It was something unbelievable. I was like, okay, like I have him. My auntie, she's in Sydney as well. She's working here. She's like, it's beautiful. It's better than Melbourne. Blah blah blah. So I was like, okay. When I was coming to Melbourne, I was like, okay, where am I? Like, I never saw this. I'm in a small city from Croatia. I went to Ange, which is nothing compared to this. Even Paris is nothing compared to this. Like, you need to see it in person. And I was like, wow, like, I should be blessed to be here. Like the guy from, I'm from Šibenik, which is 20,000 people. Šibenik. Like 25,000 people.
Yeah.
Sometimes 50, and that's maximum. Here,
Tourist season.
tourist season. One suburb here has 100,000 easily, and it's smallest.
Look, you can ask the boys. Like, even me, I've lived here my whole life. But every time you go to Darling Harbour, you go to the city, you look around and you're like,
It's beautiful.
it's beautiful,
No,
man.
It's just
Like, I feel like I'm a tourist every time I go there because it's like the harbour bridge, the opera, the water, the restaurants, the way we've built. Sometimes we're a bit, ungrateful for all of that. But at the same time, you ask yourself, that's how we managed to get Juan Mata here. That's how we managed to get Douglas Costa here. And people like Marin Jakolis as well. Like,
appreciate it.
yeah.
No, but yeah, the city was good. Actually, it was good. Like the club was professional. Like I can put them like in top 3 professional clubs that I was ever. Like
In terms of the level bar.
in terms of everything, how they care of the players,
Facilities,
facilities,
they're the facilities.
people taking care of you, helping you in daily basis, whatsoever. Like they will be
Yeah.
there. Like it's top club.
100%. Look, I think when it comes to, weirdly enough, I feel like, where MacArthur is at the moment, it's a growing community. And I feel like one day we'll get to a point where you're going to look at it as a CBD. Whereas, it's very much a country town still, kind of, that area, if you think about it. But still, even then, the way we built society here, the way we've been able to grow everything. Yeah.
Parramatta's the next big one, and then I think it's going to go further.
I've heard my grandfather complain for the last God knows how long about how he wants to go back to Lebanon and, it was this over there and that. I'm like, just be grateful for what you have.
It's like a country.
Yeah.
It really is.
Back on the football, though.
Yes.
Before we get on to the Wanderers season, Melbourne Victory, that attacking depth that they have is absolutely ridiculous. Between Arzani, Machach, you go back into midfield with Teague as well. Those 3 specifically for me this season have all stepped up in parts of the season.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry, I just want to ask. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you play with Teagues in national setup when he got selected at the same time or no?
No. I was with him at Sydney FC.
Have you seen the quality of him, especially this year? He's got a ceiling. Doesn't he? He's got a ceiling.
He's been great. When he was a young boy at Sydney when I was there, just would train with us. And then and then you could tell he had something. You can just see. You can see when a young boy's got it. You can see.
Because I look at him, he looks like a 6 and an 8. He just got the frame for it.
Yeah.
I think the way he's like, even Saturday, people say Arzani, I think he controlled the midfield with Valadon, Geordie.
Yeah.
And he's been good as well.
Yeah,
He's been very good.
Geordie's been
He's been very good.
Even with Reno Piscopo as well has been amazing this season.
Can you say his name again?
Reno. How do you say it?
Reno.
Reno.
Oh God. That's
Reno.
Italian.
It's Reno.
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 Yeah.
Well, how did I say it?
Reno.
It's not Josic. It's not Josic. It's not Croatian.
No, we've got a friend called Renato.
Yes, it's Renato. Yeah.
Everyone calls him Reno.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's Reno, yeah.
yeah, so With
And then back to Piscopo. Yeah,
He's unbelievable.
Beautiful,
Piscopo's
yeah.
been
When he was in
amazing.
Jets, I was like, ooh.
Jets.
Last year, I was like,
He was at Phoenix, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah.
Piscopo, yeah, top player.
When I
Player.
played first,
They've got quality
Yeah.
all around.
Yeah, and to keep Bruno Fornaroli on the bench the whole season has been beyond me because like he's such a great player. And
Vargas is good. Vargas, sorry.
yeah, but still like a 25 goal a season striker has been sitting on the bench. Imagine the Wanderers had him, or imagine Sydney FC or even a MacArthur at some point. He would take them to that next level.
Bruno.
But Bruno Fornaroli is a great striker of the ball. He might not have been in his best form at the start of the year, but at the end of the day, the quality doesn't go.
Marin seems to disagree.
No, I agree.
Agree, sorry.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, Bruno is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like just keeping on the bench, like it's
Yeah, that bench
probably
alone.
it's about whatever it was going on by the
Where would he
time.
start though, Marin? Where would he start?
He's a striker. He's up there, and you don't.
So for Perth, you reckon he starts?
He starts every team.
Oh wow!
Every team he starts.
Yeah.
There is no team
Luke,
that
would
he
you
doesn't
agree?
start.
Every team.
He's one of my best mates. So,
Bruno starts every single
Yeah,
team, and in the
but-
last
No,
championship.
but
you saw what he did last year.
Yeah, different level.
You know,
Different level.
missed how many games and
How old is he now? 36, 37?
37.
yeah,
Still got it.
but especially
He's still
especially when you
since
have
he was with Popper.
Yeah.
He'll say it himself.
Massage.
He learned a different side of football.
I've just realised you played with him at City, didn't you?
Yeah.
So, how good was he at City in that prime?
Man,
Because
he
I remember
was-
you came to Wanderers and you had Harry Navillo as well.
Harry was before me.
Harry's before you,
Yeah.
sorry. He came to Pertec back in the day. Him and Navillo tore us.
And Moisey.
And Moisey.
Yeah.
Moisey. That was our player as well. Thank you, Luke.
Man, what a trio.
Oh, wow.
And then throw Cass in there the year
Caceres,
after. Man.
No, for sure he starts everywhere.
Yeah.
He starts everywhere.
Yeah. Put it this way, his experience, I actually agree. Because as good as Sapsford is, he doesn't start. Sapsford doesn't start ahead of him.
No.
Klimala's good, but I think Bruno brings a little bit more
I
than
thought he
Patrick.
was good, Patrick.
Okay. Starts as good as Harry is at MacArthur. Bruno's got that experience. He's got the experience and the form and the talent all put together in one. Wherever he goes. The other thing I was going to talk about is Velupile. Like his emergence this year has been crazy, and I believe you played with him when you were at the Socceroos.
Yeah.
How was he in training?
Good player.
Yeah.
Very good player. He's got everything. He's big, he's strong, he's quick, got good feet.
Yeah.
He reads the game very well, like a very smart footballer.
Yeah.
And a bit of confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's flying.
No.
And he's just got this, I joke with him, but he's got this aura around him.
Or
you sit next to him, you go, fuck. You feel it, bro. But,
You walk past him and
And-
you go, what the Sigma?
yeah. and on top of that, he's a top kid.
Yeah.
Like top kid. You can see he's just been brought up well.
No ego, yeah.
No
I
ego.
love that.
He's still got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder,
You
but
need that.
you need that as a footballer.
Yeah.
But his feet are on the ground. He's smart kid.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think this season he had that ankle injury that sort of killed him a little bit, and took him a little bit to get back to looking like himself. But yeah, good player, man.
You know, when you got a core of the Socceroos in that squad, it's not going to make. It's not that it's not going to make a difference to the team. He gets injured, Piscopo comes back into the squad. Piscopo gets injured, Fornaroli comes off the bench. Like you can't beat that. I'll get to your opinion. I'm going to leave the Wanderers fan for the last. Wanderers season, Marin. Give us a few. Like, what's the overview?
I think
for
they
that?
should be happy.
Yeah.
Like they should be. They performed last 3 months. They were the best team in the league.
Yeah.
They did everything. Now just the finals. I don't know. I never experienced the finals. So I cannot talk about the finals feeling. But I think they just didn't show up like they show every Saturday, Sunday, and they didn't show up this one. And victory is good enough to
Any day of the week.
punish
Any day
them.
of the
And
week,
yeah.
you see like Arzani's ball, the guy is alone on the second post. Like he will not miss that. But
Yeah.
charge goal. It's just like you're not
2
awake.
moments.
It's bam finish. Thank you very much.
That's
See
it.
ya.
That's all it was, really.
2 moments.
Yeah.
2 moments.
That's all it was. The right winger and right back switched off. Let Boss get in.
Yeah. Case is a top player. As well.
Had ridiculous amount of space. Scored. And the
Gabriel
next
Crew
one
left him.
fell to the guy in the box. He finished it. That was it.
2 nutmegs, by the way. On
No,
the,
but
on the
yeah.
from the goal.
Like
No, but it's literally 2 seconds. You are off. You get 1 goal, second goal, finish.
Yeah.
And you end of the first half, from 20th minute to 45, they were dominated.
Yeah.
They score. I was like, it's finished. I'm like, they're going they're going away with it. 1-2-1, 3-1, finish. Thank you very much.
The Wanderers needed to win that because you could have afforded to lose 1 or 2-0 against Auckland and then maybe have to fly over there and get something from them. But this game was like you could not.
We got killed. And listen, we'll end it on this because enough of my
Bleed
club.
your heart out, my friend.
Yeah.
Go
I'm
on, go
I'm not
for
gonna
it.
bleed, but-
Have your
But
moment.
you had a good season. As a Wanderers fan, you should be happy.
Well, put it this way, boys. You obviously saw the score like all of us at the start of the year. Did you think that we could make top 6 at the start of the year? Be honest. With the squad that we had, you reckon, Martin? Honest?
Yeah, I think so.
It's not that bad, man.
You
We've got some good players.
there like you could see some teams that they don't have a players like some names. Let's say names, big
Yeah,
names.
yeah.
Even in Australia, not the big names. They fucking make it. Like it's. I think this year they should and they did. I was expecting us and Sydney to be there as well.
We did our
That's
predictions. and I think-
that's how it. I think that how the season was going. I think that's how it should be.
Luke, would you agree? You saw us in the top 6 at the start of the year.
Yeah. There's no player in the team that's flair apart from one.
Yeah,
I think he should have played more.
I agree.
But you got boys in there that are going to work hard. If when they're good on the ball, they're good
Yep.
players. But when they're not great on the ball, they're still going to work hard. They're
Yep.
still going to run. They're still going to tackle. They're still going to make it hard for the opposition.
You need workhorses.
The mentality. If the mentality's right in this league, you're going to win games.
Absolutely.
I agree. And if like we were to list through the other teams, like at the start of the season, you have a better team than Perth on paper.
Of course.
Mariners,
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
they lost everyone.
Mhm.
Brisbane, yes.
Yeah.
Wellington, yes. I think between you guys, I think the two Sydney teams, I think MacArthur and Western Sydney, were pretty much at the start of the season on par. I'd argue MacArthur possibly had a strong.
I would agree.
I think you
in
guys,
terms of talent wise, I would agree.
you guys up front are stacked.
Put it this way: if I was to pick a combined 11, I think you would have more MacArthur players. Not just saying it like because you got ups. Generally, I think
From the start of the season.
from some of the season,
Yeah.
completely without a shadow of a
Yeah.
doubt.
I think that your defense at the start of the year was your letdown.
That's what cost us.
Okay.
Even on Saturday we got shown.
Even in your midfield, like I said, I love the work rate of Oscar Priestman.
We're very top heavy.
But I think that his skill, like, as in you can't have Priestman and Brillante. It's either you need one of them and someone more of a progressive ball carrier through the
Luke,
the front.
did
three.
we see the best of Josh like you play with him at Sydney? Do we see the best of him when this
I
year?
wasn't with him at Sydney.
Oh, my apologies.
But
sorry.
I've obviously played against him a lot.
Yep.
And he's a fantastic player. He's,
And a fantastic human as well.
yeah.
we've
Oh man,
heard.
top
Fantastic
guy.
human.
Top guy.
Yeah.
I think you need someone next to him who's gonna dominate, who's gonna get the ball and break lines.
I don't think Oscar can though. That's
and
my problem. That's
break lines, play forward. Because Joshy he works his ass off.
Yeah.
He's good on the ball, and he's that link between the centre backs and. But you need someone in there that's going to control the game and
Yeah.
play balls forward and give it to your playmakers, your dangerous players up front.
They're effectively the same player. Priestman and Brillante are pretty much the same player. One's just 10 years older than the other.
Yeah.
But I think what costs you guys, your front, I've always said, you scored 52, 53 goals this year. 60 goals now.
59.
whatever.
Sorry, 59.
So I think Wanderers up front were amazing. Even they'd match you guys on paper in terms of front three. I think between you, Jed, and Jamar at the start of the year compared to Borello, Sapsford, and let's just say Milanovic before Kraev grew into himself.
Yeah, but look
It's-
at their depth. Danny De Silva, Bernardo.
Yeah.
Chris Economides. You got Chris Economides off
100%. From midfield to defense, though, I think they had you guys.
Agree.
But as Pantazopoulos grew into his role, as Gabriel Kleur emerged, as Gersbach
Scored
came
a
into
worldie
left
against
back.
us, where he killed us.
Chloe.
Yeah.
I'm going to close him now. I'm like, he's 40 yards out. He's
Yeah,
not.
it's not
He's
bad.
not beating.
Never in his career again.
He's not
yeah.
beating Curto from here.
Yeah.
Bang.
Look, it happens. You
How
get-
good's Philip and how tall is he? Fucking dreaded. He gets penalties. He must be an absolute nightmare.
He's funny, bro. He's
Martin's laughing. When you know
Yeah.
Martin's laughing, you know.
he is. I've never met anyone like him, bro.
Yeah,
Any PG/M stories that we can reveal on the podcast? PG/M.
About Phil?
Yeah, about Phil.
No. No.
All over, mate.
No. Nothing, bro. Like there's not even any bad ones about
Okay.
him. Man, he's just
Just a unique human.
one of
yeah.
a kind.
Yeah,
One of a
you'll never
kind.
meet someone
Unique,
else.
unique.
No, it's finished. Like
Right.
I never met anybody like him.
I'm gonna get everyone's predictions before we move on for this weekend and going into the grand final. Melbourne victory versus Auckland on over 2 legs. Start with Thomas.
Victory.
Victory. What's the aggregate?
3-2.
3-2. Martin.
I want to say 3. I think, yeah, victory.
Over Auckland.
Yeah, Easily.
Okay.
4-1, 4-2.
Okay, Luke.
I'm torn.
Why are you torn,
torn.
Luke? Why are you torn?
Bimby.
Bimby.
Yeah, me too.
What a guy, man.
Everyone loves Bimby. Yeah,
Um,
everyone loves Bimby.
Yeah.
Auckland's so hard to play against.
Why is it first year? Is it first year hype or is it they got players there?
The atmosphere there in their stadium's great.
How was it?
Top
to go?
The grass is long. It's hard to play
Oh,
there.
Stoke City ball. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like it's very hard to play there.
Yeah.
The grass is long. It's slow.
Yeah. Suits them to a
Long
T.
throw-ins,
Long
balls.
throw-ins. Like
DeVries.
before our game, we spoke. All right, don't give away free kicks. Don't give away throw-ins, corners, everything. Bang.
Did you give away free kicks and goals?
Throw-in goal.
Goal.
Yeah.
Throwing goal, yeah.
Yeah.
Free
Free
kick,
kick,
goal.
Set piece then.
They're
They're very good at what they do.
Yeah.
Very good.
The crazy thing,
And you
though,
got to respect it.
two, 3 rounds ago, they had just as basically, I think we calculated it on the show, they had as many people at that game as the rest of the league did
Combined.
for that round.
Yeah, the hype is big, yeah.
Yeah,
and
it's
they,
good.
and they do everything around it. Like they build a sandcastle, they build
Sandcastle,
a
jumping
stuff.
castle.
But
Incredible.
do you know
People
why?
with the family come and they enjoy.
Marin was gonna be like, "Fuck the football, I'm going to the second."
Yeah, well, I was looking.
Zoom in.
Like,
When you're
That's it. They put money into it.
yeah.
That's it.
The owner's pumped money into it, and he's
Yeah.
done it the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Credit to him.
Yeah, of course.
She will probably
They're
not-
going to lose money,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but next year,
but
But next year.
the more people come, they see everyone's talking about it.
Now there's a rumor. Is it correct they can't go into Asia? Is that
No, they can't.
No.
So that's why.
so? Where do they go? Luke?
The
So-
OFC. It's
So what's
the
their
same-
prize?
Club
What's
championship
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Club World Cup.
Club
thing.
World Cup. Yeah.
So
try to play with us.
basically,
Mullins used to Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. That's it. And now there's 10 different leagues.
any team in New Zealand isn't actually allowed to go into the AFC. They have to go through. So Auckland City had been playing in the OFC for the God knows how long,
Yeah,
and in the Club World Cup, because I believe the teams, for some odd reason, the Australian teams aren't actually. I've never seen them in the Club World Cup.
No, it's like
Wanderers,
Oceania
Wanderers.
and Asia is different.
Yeah.
Right?
Wanderers
different,
first
yeah.
because they won the ACL.
So look,
I had to throw that in there, didn't I?
Luke, every opportunity I get, Luke.
He wins
so,
something.
you know what? They can't hold it against Bimby now because he can't actually win the AFC with Auckland. I've been saying that for a while. I think domestically, Bimby's a better coach than Popper, but I'm not going to let you comment on that because I don't want to get you in any trouble. So I'll keep
Actually,
it.
wait, I want to ask Luke something.
Actually, ask Marin.
What's
I don't
going
know. I don't know any of them. I don't know any of them. I
Marin's happy to be here tonight.
I only heard about Poppa and I only heard about him, so I cannot. I was not there.
Okay.
I cannot comment.
Give me 2 seconds. Luke, question. Everyone talks about Bimby, the hype that he creates in the change room, the lovely down-to-earth nature of the guy. How is he? Behind the closed doors, behind camera, behind A-League All Access with Ninkovic. How is he as a character?
Top guy, man.
What
Top
is it
guy.
about him? The actual...
Just the vibes.
Okay.
Like if the team's winning, and my first year at Sydney was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Won everything, and I had a lot of stuff off the pitch that was going on that I won't go into. It's
Yeah.
very tough.
Yep.
And on the pitch was unbelievable.
Every success possible.
The vibes, like we had a very good team.
Yeah.
We played very good football. But that was one of the funnest years I've ever had, bro. Like,
Now, silly question from an outsider looking in, and I've heard all my mates as well. We sort of put it on Abs and his club, but there's a big consensus that Corica inherited Arnold's plan, inherited Arnold's football, inherited Arnold's plays. Would that be the case from a player that experienced under Bimby?
yeah, probably, but he still had to coach us.
Good
I
point.
came into a new system, still had
True.
to coach me.
And he did a good job, clearly.
Brought new players in, me, Costa.
Mm.
Still had to coach these guys.
I'm a big believer in. I hate when people use that because, as you can see, I'm a supporter of Arsenal. Now, for 3-4 years, all I heard about Mikel Arteta was, he just took Pep's playbook and he went and done what he done. No, yeah, he might have learned.
But it's a bit
things
different
from
here
Pep.
because obviously
He was there
Gone.
with him. It's the
Correct.
exact same thing. He was there
Gone
with
different club.
Arnie
Gone
and
different club.
Arteta still, but he took the same kind of style, but made it in his own way. It takes time to develop, and he still won what he wanted at Sydney. He done what he needed to do at Sydney. I think he should get a lot more credit for Auckland because all right, he had 12 months to build this side, but at
it's
the
full credit now
No,
because
no.
that's
And that's a hard thing to do, is to start a club.
Yeah.
And
massive.
but
man,
to master it the way he has at Auckland, and if he goes on to win this thing, and he
does he win
dominate
it?
next year,
Does he win it?
yes, Auckland's my winner. I've said it for a while.
Martin shaking his head. Why Martin go?
No, I don't think so.
No,
If you watch them games, last couple of games, they're not the same team. Everybody know, like now it's easy to read.
Why?
Like easy to read them. It's not easy to read them. Now you see them, they have a pattern every time the same. Like when we played against Sydney, we know how they play because they play this system 5 years ago they played the
Yeah.
same system as they play now.
But it's the great teams that if you walk into that game knowing how they want to play and how they will play, and they still get the job done, that's what's great about
Yeah,
Auckland.
they did that against us. We know everything.
Yeah,
We knew three things: long balls, free kicks, corner kicks, and throw-ins.
Yeah.
That's them,
But they still did it, Marty.
and they still did it.
Yeah.
So we need to win this game, 100%. If you play 10 times like this, we win this game 8 out of 10 times.
it's respectfully, they're not the Wanderers.
No.
They're that next level or two up. It's gonna take more than Arzani and Piscopo and Machach and those guys to show up for them to win it over 2 legs. They're not gonna
Because
win.
they're very good defensively.
They are very,
very
top
good defensively.
seriously.
They're so organised.
Yeah.
They're beasts. Like they're all huge.
Yeah.
They're
got-
hard to beat.
You got 4 centre backs, essentially.
And then if they go 1-0 up, he brings Tommy Smith on and plays 5 at the back.
Yeah.
He's a fucking man mountain.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're very hard to beat.
Martin, have you ever seen a taller man in your life?
I never. No.
Croatia, no, in the,
Even,
in
no,
the villages. no?
even Sakai, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's huge, bro.
She's humongous.
Yeah.
I was thinking I'm tall, but the guy stood next to me. I was like, yeah, okay.
To be fair, I interviewed him earlier. This
Oh, relax,
year.
he's
He's
6
about
foot
up
8.
there.
Relax. Okay.
He's no Harry Sawyer, is he?
Yeah.
Look, before we move on, West United, Melbourne City. Quick predictions. Who's gone through?
City.
City.
Western.
Wow. Against his former employee.
Oof.
Wow.
West United.
Oof.
So it's going to be Auckland West United final.
And we'll say that for the next episode they're on next week.
I think Auckland should take it out. If Auckland don't take it out, I think it'd be a very disappointing season for them. A quick one on to the next.
Wait, you think it would be disappointing if
Wait.
they don't win it?
Whoa. They did everything.
First year
right.
in the league, they win the
Yeah, but
premiership.
the way they've gone about it, the way they've been 3 steps ahead of everybody.
So you don't
else.
think it's still not a season to be proud of?
No,
He
but
did
the
everything right.
expectations.
Yeah, but
they
this comes
set-
from a guy who thinks there's more tactics in rugby, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, okay, move on.
Oh my God. Let's
Move
not
on,
go
move
over
on.
this.
Come on, move
Okay.
on, move on.
Abdul, go. 30 seconds. No, 1-on-1, go. The 30 seconds, go.
Respectfully,
Don't look at Look at the camera, 30 seconds.
what is it?
Explain why there's more tactics.
I'm not going into that on camera.
He's wrong, Luke.
I'm-
He's wrong. He knows.
I'm not going into that on camera. But when it comes to Auckland and the season they've had, and them going into the last 3-4 rounds of the season effectively, knowing they're going to finish first place, being able to put your feet up in the last 2 weeks, if you don't go out and win the whole comp, knowing that you've been better than everyone else that you've played, for me, I think even Bimby himself will be disappointed. Like, let's be honest, he's going in against Victory, who have struggled against most teams they've played. They got battered by Sydney. Last time they played before the elimination final, the Wanderers got them 4-2. They were up 2-0 at one point.
But
They-
this is finals. This is
Yeah,
Victory.
but
They're
it's
hardened.
different, yeah.
Auckland
They're
haven't
hardened.
had that. Auckland didn't really go into the game against Western United wanting to win. They still lost 4-2. Fair enough.
Okay, well, as a player that in that Sydney era was untouchable, and you had the leg wrapped up, you still got to fight. There's still a sense of prison there. Yes or no? Or
Yeah,
are you on the beers?
Man, we were like some ridiculous amount of points clear,
I remember that season.
and we come back from COVID,
Yeah.
and we needed like a point or something to win, and we were so bad in the next like 3 or 4 weeks. We won the league at home against Western United, and we lost 2-1, and we were terrible. And everyone was just, but that's what's strange about that year, bro. Everyone just sort of like, we knew we could just turn on like that. And it's never, like I played at Brisbane with Ange.
Yeah.
And we were just drilled. Like we knew it was like a machine.
Yeah.
We knew how to play. We knew everything that was going on. That Sydney team, we were that good that we just turned up and we knew in the first 15 minutes we're going to be 1-2-0 up.
Shit.
And then it just turned into fun. Like it was crazy. And after that, after we won it, we sort of like going into the finals, we were in terrible form.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But you knew in the back of your
And
mind.
we just
you
turned up we just turned up.
Yeah, well,
the rest is history.
that's what it is with Bimby. Like, you're giving a man who has the prestige and has kind of that mind, that great football mind, a squad that can pretty much turn it on against anyone, any day, anytime they like it.
I don't think they're great, like football wise, but they're very good at what they do.
But the thing is,
and they're hard to beat.
I've said it for a while. They don't necessarily have star player. They don't have a Milanovic like you guys had halfway through this season to pull you out of trouble.
No, they don't.
They didn't have, the likes of Marin Jakolis to pull out a magic moment at the start, just out of nowhere.
But they're fucking drill dabs.
But
That's
they're
the thing.
a team. They're a compact team that they're going to beat you as 11 players, not one player turning up on the day. And that, for me, is better than having 9 players that do their job and 2 star players.
Or on that team sort of thing, quickly off to Europe, to your great rival Tottenham. Luke obviously being coach under Ange, you reckon he can get the job done?
In the final, Yeah, I think so.
Against United?
Yeah.
Mate.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And is he the best coach that you've ever been
Yeah.
under?
Yeah.
What makes him different to the rest?
He was good at everything. I've always had coaches that are either good man management or tactically good.
Mhm.
He was just very good.
Combination. Deadly
He
combination.
was.
But we've heard from a lot of people that he doesn't really talk to his players. Is that correct?
No, he doesn't have a relationship with you. But that's the thing.
Do you reckon that worked in your favour?
In my favor?
Particularly, yes.
Sort of. Yeah.
Okay.
Like he walks in a room and everyone's like, oh shit. Like,
Respect straight
yeah.
away.
Like he'd like we walk out at training, walk out and Millet speaks to everyone.
Yeah.
He'd be standing there and he'd be like, okay, someone didn't shake my hand this morning. And you see one person just go up and morning boss.
Oh, fuck.
Like he demanded that respect and everyone just like it was scary, man. It was scary.
And was that instilled day one?
Yeah. Man, when he came in, he got rid of all the older boys. Just like Maury, Tiato, Packer. Just like was like, I'm gonna come in and all these big names had been to Europe, done everything. Socceroos, just like cleared them out.
That's
and
insane.
from day one of preseason, the way he wanted to play was just drilled in and drilled in and drilled in.
You
It
know-
was
Can you see those patterns in Tottenham the way they play now? In
yeah.
Celtic?
He's evolved, obviously. He's
Yeah.
evolved. But he's
Similar philosophy?
yeah, very similar. But he's just tweaked things, obviously. And the way he does things, it's like it's incredible. Like we had when he was Socceroos coach, I was in a couple of camps.
Yep.
And we had a game on like a Thursday, and it was like a Monday, day before. Like we were training that afternoon. We did a video session on whoever it was. He was like, okay, the ball's got to be in play this amount of time. This team slows it down. Get the ball down. Play quick. I want it.
In that detail.
Yeah, the ball's in play for 45 minutes. I want it 60 minutes. Quick throw-ins, quick free kicks. But then he'll go and tell a story about why you should be happy to be here and why you want to be up for the game. You'll go back to your room and you don't train for another 3 hours, but you'd want to just run through the wall.
Run through a brick
You'd
wall
be
for
like,
him. Yeah.
it's unbelievable. And he was the same in Brisbane. He did that.
Yeah.
I remember he smashed me for like 2 years straight. And I was a kid. I was 19.
Yeah.
And I just constant every session hammering me. And I was like, man, like when's the older boys? I'm like, what can
What's
I
going
do?
on?
Like you don't just go and speak to him,
You can't.
especially as a kid.
You
You
can't.
don't just go and speak to him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I went to one of the older boys. I'm like, man, what can I do to get him off my back? Like, it's getting to me a little bit. And he's like, go speak to him. I'm like, fuck, no way, bro. So it took me weeks to work up the courage.
Oh, no. Did you
Yeah.
actually?
And I went
Oh,
to
you
him
go.
like, I'm like, boss, like, I just want to know what I can do to make you stop yelling at me. And he's like, stop there. He goes, when I stop yelling at you,
You've done something wrong.
it means I don't give a fuck about you anymore.
Yeah, good.
It means I don't care about you.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I didn't think of it that way. And I was
Relief.
like, fuck, like,
But especially as a kid, you
Unbelievable,
think, oh, being yelled at, I'm doing something wrong.
yeah, of course. And like, I think I'm good with the young boys now. They're very different. The young boys these days. You can't speak to them the way you want to.
It's even money speaking to you, money.
Nah, he's an older boy.
Oi.
But like the way he spoke and the way he did things, man. We played Yokohama away in the Champions League. Apart from that Socceroos game I played against Japan, my debut.
Yeah.
That was one of the hardest 45 minutes of my life.
Fuck.
The game against Yokohama away in the Champions League for Sydney FC.
Yeah.
Man, I touched the ball probably 4 times, and every time I got it, I was getting pressed. No time on the ball. They were 4-1 up, 90th minute, 89th minute. They had a corner.
Still going.
And one of the young boys said to me, I was like, who are you marking? He goes, number 7. I said, he's already fucking taken the corner. He's had about 4 touches in the corner. They sprinted out to take a short corner at 89th minute, and they're 4-1 up. He was just drilled. You know, the Japanese are like, tactically, they're unbelievable.
yeah.
Discipline, like,
Yeah, they're a different level.
it was another level, bro.
And even Bessart, I think Bessart's one of the best strikers that's ever touched Australia.
Yeah.
He went to a different level under Ange. Do you reckon his mentality, Bessart, his upbringing, the way he's come and brought the energy into the league, do you reckon that molded well with Ange when he was there?
Yeah. Bess is one of the guys that you hate to play against,
But love him on your team.
but love it when he's on your team, bro. Love it. Like, and he's so different off the pitch.
Is he?
Off the pitch, he's the nicest guy, family,
way.
everything. But there's a lot of players that are like that. Like a lot of players,
You got
like,
the switch.
man, I hated this guy the first time I played against him. Hated him.
Do you mind?
Yeah.
Do you mind telling a story for the camera? Is that okay?
Yeah, he lost 2-0 by the way.
Yeah, all right, bro, all right. First 5 minutes, he's taking a dive, and I'm like, bro, get the fuck up. Like, it's like his 3rd game in the league. I'm like, get the fuck up. He's like, who are you? It is
Mate,
fake Croatian
For you,
accent.
blondie.
Fake Croatian accent.
Are you
didn't
blondie?
call me. Who the fuck are you? Who are you?
Goldilocks.
Get up, bro, get up. And like that's like,
Yeah.
you know, you hate.
Yeah.
I guarantee the boys out there that hate me, that haven't played with me, hate me.
Yeah.
And as soon as you play with them, like everyone's good. Like there's shit
Yeah.
guys out there, but like they're good guys.
Absolutely.
Most.
And he was
one
very
of
much
those.
like that, bro. Everyone hates him when you
Yeah.
play against him. But off the pitch, bro, he was top guy.
I just want to go on to your season this season, like just before we get on to your careers, because that's an amazing story, and we're gonna get onto the managers a bit more because you've had a few, mate. You've had Arnie, you've had Ange, you've had Popper, you've had, you know, even now with the new and up and coming managers like Mille, you had I think it was 9 wins, 6 draws, 11 losses this year at MacArthur. It didn't go as well as you guys wanted it to, but at the end of the day, it wasn't a bad season, wasn't the best season. 7 clean sheets, you average 1.74 XG goals a game. Matt and yourself, you had 13 goals in all competitions. One of the best, you know, seasons we've seen in a MacArthur jersey in general. A big clap there.
Happy Marin or no?
Thank you.
But from going and winning the Australia Cup to getting to the end of what's wrong?
I think that's just finish your one. I was just asking Marin if he was happy with this season.
Right, Kakosi. Doban.
I think Luke knows better cry than you.
From winning the Australia Cup to just missing out on finals. How did you guys kind of assess that season? Where do you think it went wrong? Where could you have improved?
Oh,
You know,
I think the most clear, season-wise looking is when Jed, Vale, Ari, Bonzi, everybody left, and you are in the kind of middle of the season with with winning the with winning a trophy in Australia Cup to coming the first couple of games that you have unbelievable. You win 5-1, then you draw 4. It doesn't matter. Like you are playing amazing football. People are now actually scared to come play against you. You made a name.
Yeah.
That's whoever comes or wherever you go, it's 0-0. Nobody starts at advantage. And then comes the point where actually like 4-5, which is in the end is Jed, Vale, Ari who was coming and doing a lot of jobs, Jonesy who was doing an unbelievable job. Like we have so many players, and we didn't have a deep squad because there was a couple of injuries. This guy got
Salary
injured.
cap as well makes
Yeah.
it so hard.
So like you come in the season like flying, a couple of weeks flying, and then starts like okay, Ponzi is first, then it's Jed, then it's Vale, and then you are like okay, you lost 4 players who played 95% of the games. What to do now? What to do now?
Yeah.
And then we need a couple of weeks, obviously 2, 3, 4 weeks till you find this is it Chris, is it Bernardo, is it Ange, who is it, which position, how you want to play.
Yeah.
You lost this, you lost that, so it's not easy. For Mila was not easy, for us was not easy, and you are happy to play, but then when the result come, you're like, what the fuck are we doing? Like we should do more, we should be better, we should do better. And then after I think maybe a couple of weeks, maybe month, 1.5, 2 months, but then it's already gone. Then you lost too many games. And you lose points where you should never lose the points.
But there was even games at home where we 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go and we lose 2-1.
Yeah,
It's like 2 or 3 of them.
Like
And it's like
Is that the young blood in the squad? Is that the inexperience that hardened?
Yeah, a little bit.
Valaire's obviously illustrious.
Yeah,
career.
a little bit, but
it's hard to explain.
Yeah, it's hard. It's more of like a mentality thing.
Have you personally been in a scenario where, as Martin was saying, that's 5 guaranteed starters, 95% of the games. Have you ever been in a situation like that where that's happened and you go, as one of those senior players in the squad, never? And shaking his head, not straight away.
No.
So,
No, it's
so
impossible.
for first time for Martin, first time for you, what do you do? Like, do you just get up, get your bag, and keep going?
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
I think we dealt well with it. It took a month, 2 months to
How did you
adjust.
What was that, Mile? Or was that the leadership group?
Everyone.
Everyone just,
Mille picks the team and chooses everything, but as players, we got to take responsibility as well. And obviously, like Valère, unbelievable. Had how many goals? Jed, unbelievable season. Ari was contributing
very good.
I loved it.
There's 3 main goal scorers there. You take them out in a salary cap league, and we had Bonesy as well, who was starting centre back. It's 4 starters. It doesn't happen ever. If you lose 1 maybe in January,
you can react.
You can fill them in, but 4.
Crazy,
and we were like second. At the
Yeah,
time.
you were.
We were second or third, and we were playing unbelievable.
But even then, I feel like it's helped grow both of your careers. You know, yes, it's unfortunate events. They had that many players lose. But I feel like you, Marin, you've become a much bigger leader. You've been taking on more responsibilities in the team because you've had to. Even with with Luke yourself, I feel like you've become a coach on the field. You've become kind of the coach, the person that Mile trusts on the field to get the message out, to make sure everyone's up to scratch. And once that side begins to build again, once you bring in the right, recipe to make sure that you can build towards that success one more time, I think you're both going to benefit from it even more. Because look at how your season ended up finishing with 13 goals, 9 assists. That's 22 goal contributions. I think you were 4 or 5 ahead of the person in second at that point. And I feel like you've rejuvenated yourself since leaving Sydney.
There's no disrespect to the boys that were still in the team, but if we had Jed, Marin, Jed, Valère, and Ari, I think he would have been 20 goals, 20 assists.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just that quality in the final third. And
Delivery of a ball.
once you're in the groove, like he knew where Valère was going to run.
Yeah.
Jed knew where Marin was going to run. Like that many times they pass the ball to each other.
Yeah, you see it. You see it.
You could feel it. You know what I mean?
The combination, even against the Wanderers with the opener, like there's a lot of youngsters that were in your position. They see the keeper coming out. They either freeze or the composure is just thrown out the window, and they either strike it above the keeper, goes over the post, or the keeper comes out and he kicks it away. You had the composure, you stopped. You actually, I believe you took it around him and rolled it into the net. Like it's those little moments that, like you said, no disrespect to the rest of the boys, but you can't expect a 19, 18, 17-year-old to do the job of someone who's experienced 3, 4, 5 different leagues in his career, and players like, Jaman, who's might not be the quickest bloke on the team, might not be the fastest or the strongest, but it's up here.
How good is he, guys? Jamal.
Oh, he's a joke.
Oh wow, unbelievable.
Was he one of those players, Marin, as Luke was saying, you had that connection where you could just feel it? Was that in training formed? Was that just straight away you think, okay, this is another quality, you can just understand each other?
He speaks French as well.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Speaks French.
So
So they had that.
Yeah, we had that one and everything. No, but I was lucky enough because last year I played with Jamie.
Yep.
This year I play with Vale. They are
Two quality.
it's just where they're going to be. Like I remember one goal against he was one guy in the box. There were 5 around it, and just the way when you see that he did one movement, and at the moment I see did this, I cross the ball because I know that he will be there, and somehow he's there. You look up.
Can you explain it? You can't. Yeah.
He's just there. And I was talking with Ange a couple of times because Ange is the type of that he will be on the right. He will be in the box always. Now, what we were having trouble first games is that I would cross on second post, he would on first.
Okay.
I would cross on the first, he would stay in the middle. Like something was happening, and I was like, Ange, don't worry about me. Whatever you want to do. After it's about me. If I miss, it's my fault.
Yeah.
And then he starts scoring goals, and I was like, I think Vale was knowing that even before I need to tell him, and he knew, okay. If I'm 1 against 1, I'll not cross immediately. I will wait 5 seconds. I will go on my right, and then I will cross.
Yeah.
And then he make everything before that to make that look so easy. And he scored 7 goals in.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Like he's there.
Seriously.
It's one touch. It's not even control. He's second post. He's alone. 5 meters. He's alone.
Yeah.
He's always alone.
It's unbelievable. And just on that as well. So, for example, you've lost those players. Is it just as simple as a transfer window to get it back together? It can't be that simple. Is there what has happened now? Day one, we're back in.
Because just going back on that, because you bring a foreigner and say you bring Safe in. He is very talented, fantastic footballer, but he's traveling across the world, away from his family, coming into a new league, hasn't played for a couple of months or even longer, has to adjust to the culture, the football, the language, the travel,
Time zone,
everything. Yeah. See, if you come and start a preseason, you got 3 months to do that. The preseason's so long. Come in January, you can't do it. You can't just. He is a very, very, very good footballer, and even he couldn't just fit in and play. He needed time.
What happens, Luke? Now preseason upcoming 2025, 2026. What happens for MacArthur? Is there a transfer window that's needed? I think there is personally.
First and foremost, you need to sign Marin. Get that done.
Do you want to speak to us specifically?
But
it's smiling because he can't say anything because he knows.
There's a lot of players off contract.
Yeah.
A lot. I think
that
it's like
sorted.
13.
A lot,
13. Me and Marin are off contract.
Yeah.
A lot of players. I think you need to bring in another 2 or 3 seniorish boys, a little bit older, that have been around the league that mentality is they know how to win games.
So you reckon 2 or 3 from the A-League? No.
Yeah,
Like a few Holmans. A few more
Jake
Holmans.
Holmans.
Yeah.
Nah,
A bit more senior,
yeah, a
senior.
little bit older. Been around. Jakey's had a good 2 seasons, 3
Yeah.
seasons, but a little bit older. They know the league. They know how to win games. Know what it takes.
Like
they
a
know
Crisby or someone like that
if
sort of mold.
if they're off, if the team's off, quality wise, which we've had games where football we haven't been great with the ball.
Yeah.
Then they know, okay, we need to do the basics. We need to fight. We need to win a game.
Yeah.
We need to scrap a game. The way we were doing in the cup early
Yeah.
on, we weren't playing great football, but we were winning games.
That's what I said though. I said it to you boys
lost.
before we started. It's the way you guys were playing that, like, it's almost like an Atletico. And I always say, I hate, but I love them. It's
Yeah.
like they will make it 90 minutes of hell.
Mm.
But for you to beat them, you're going to have to,
You have to.
you're going to
No,
have,
we were shit in the
Yeah.
cup.
yeah.
We were
Oh.
shit.
Yeah, but you were scrappy.
Yeah,
And
but
then-
we.
South Melbourne game, we should need
Oh,
to lose
man.
5-0. Before that, against Melbourne as well, when we Wallace scored in first minute. Whoever
Yeah.
was that. We should win like last 2 games before we played A-League team. We should lose both of them.
Yeah,
I was looking at Bratty after half. I'm looking at him. I'm like, what's happening, man? Like, give me something.
yeah.
Like, I need
first
him
time
to
we
give
were
me
like,
something.
what the fuck's going on?
What's
Like,
happening here? I'm coming to Vale. I'm like, Vale, tell me something. He's shaking his head. I'm like, okay, fuck me, man.
We're
Like, how,
in
we
trouble.
need to fucking win the game.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. We are winning 1-0 because Vale scored first minute goal.
Yeah.
And we finished 1-0. We didn't have a shoot on target. Phil has 7 unbelievable saves. And that's how we
And then
we
it
win.
clicked. How did it click? Because there was a moment where we're going, fuck, MacArthur might actually win this thing. Was there a moment, Marin? Was there a moment, Luke? Was there something in training? Was there a bonding session?
it was just after the cup.
Yeah, after the cup.
After the
start,
cup,
yeah.
we were just like, fuck, like
Fuck, we are good.
we've got a good team.
Yeah.
Like even though we were playing shit, the Perth weren't great,
Yeah.
but the Perth game at home, everything clicked.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah,
clicked.
right, right.
And then after that, I think we went on a little bit of a shit streak.
Yeah, we
Draw,
played
lost
won the cup,
4-4,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it just clicked. Right? And that, like I was saying with the Wanderers, like
Yeah.
end of the year, it just clicked.
Mm.
That happened to us early on.
Look, before we move on into both your individual careers, I just want to say, like, we've witnessed MacArthur this year. We've seen it from the start to the finish, and I think you've come a lot closer to building a community and putting together,
Off the field,
off the
yeah.
field, more than you have in the last 3-4 years. Even when you won trophies prior to that, like, it's such a it's such a hard place to put a football team, but you guys are doing well in that sense. Like, you yourself, you've created a bit of a cult following. When people start watching MacArthur. I love you, mate, but he's become
You're a dog. You're a dog.
Oh, I'm a dog. Oh, mate, you left us, so I didn't leave you.
When they were following Sydney, they were following Brattan.
What was that?
When they were following Sydney, they were all about him.
Yeah, it was all Luke Brattan. But like I said, he left us. I didn't leave him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well,
I heard about
It's
him.
not get into
marriage.
that.
Relax
I'm- I'm-
yourself.
Let's not get
It's not a
into
marriage, brother. Fucking, it's a club.
Yeah, you can go for MacArthur if you want.
Look,
He goes for anything. He goes to no problem.
no, look, but it's been a pleasure, in the sense of what's happened at MacArthur. We've been able to see it from an outside perspective. Neither of us are fans of the club, but we've been admirers of, we live close enough to that area.
So, question:
That's it.
does the MacArthur board re-sign Luke and Marin?
Of course, of course.
One
give-
more year.
Depends on this guy. This
Well,
guy
so
is,
when Luke goes, you go.
yeah, no, it's just
Shibanek?
Yeah.
Shibanik.
Shibanek is after 2 more years, then he's going to my club.
Hey, look,
Age of 37, 38, he'll be the libero.
imagine him and Modric in one midfield.
Oh,
Once
shut the
Modric
fuck up.
back
No,
in
Luke is enough.
Nah, look, going back to what you said, I think MacArthur as a club, they've got a big like future.
Yeah.
You can see they got good people in good areas.
Yeah.
They've got the community. The facility they're going to build is going to help.
Yeah.
They need to grow the
What's the timeline on that?
grassroots.
What's the timeline?
Not sure.
2 years?
Dude.
A couple of years.
I
History.
think 2 years.
But
Yeah.
the area, the community, the club, everything about it, the owners are great.
Yeah.
Like it's got a big future.
I'll tell you this, and I'm a big believer in history is made to be written. The A-League itself is only 20 years old, and we can't sit here and shit on the league and say, oh, the A-League's not this or the A-League's not that, because it's still young. You look at Marconi and Sydney United and South Melbourne and all these clubs in Olympic, they've been around for 50, 60, 70 years. There's plenty of history there. MacArthur in 30 years' time, you're going to be able to write 30 years of history. You can't judge it and judge the area and judge the
That's
fact
too
that
soon.
people complain that, oh, they don't get enough crowds or this or that, because it's still young, it's growing, it's finding its identity. And it's tough times like these when you lose 4 or 5 players in the middle of a season that help build a club. So even as a Sydney fan, I can turn around and appreciate what's been trying to create over there. Because Western Sydney is a big area.
Massive.
You guys call yourself the Western Sydney Wanderers, but you cover
Careful.
about 3/4 of Sydney. It doesn't work like that. I think giving the Campbelltown, especially though it's a budding CBD area, giving it its own team is only going to help. Look at Penrith. Like, for example, Penrith itself has now become like a whole CBD. They're trying to make it another Parramatta. And slowly but surely, it's not going to be the last team that's going to be in Sydney. I wouldn't be surprised if in 5, 6, 7 years' time, we start to see more teams follow out there. What happens when Olympic or United or Marconi enter the A-League in 10 years' time? What are you going to complain that, they're in our area?
Do you reckon that's going to work, mate? From an outsider looking in,
It has to.
It has to. I mean,
I think it works.
it's like in Croatia. You know how it is. You have like 5 clubs in the capital city, which is Zagreb, and then you have like around Dalmatia 2, 3 clubs. That's how it is. And Melbourne has 3 clubs. If you have like 3, 4, 5, why not? Like, it's actually good because you are around here.
So
Every game should be packed.
I
And
agree.
it should be good for you.
As Luke said before, it's all about the money. If
Yeah,
they
of
can
course.
be financially liable and
It's all
kind of hold themselves up and investors keep pumping the money in, that's all that's going to...
Do you see a way, Luke, that it can? Especially because obviously you've been in and around that.
Yeah. If that's the thing, it all comes down to if people put money into it.
Yeah.
You can't make money without putting money into something.
Yeah.
So if you want something to be like the Premier League, they pump money into that.
Oh, God,
They
yeah.
pump money into it.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Like and it's all they do over there. People work all week to go
To
watch the
watch the
football
one
on the
game.
weekend,
Yeah.
drink beers and watch football on the weekend.
Yeah.
It's their life.
But is that hard to change, I think, in Australia? Because we've got a culture here where 9:30, my quiche up, it's raining a little bit, whatever. Put the TV on. There's my meat pie at home. And that's the
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah,
I think
it
that's
is,
a lot
but it
harder
can
to
change.
Luke.
Yeah, but
You
look
look
at
at the background of the culture of all different teams in Sydney. Like the NPL's got some good fans.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, we were there at the Sydney United Olympic game. It's a Wednesday night. You still had a few hundred people show up, but that will eventually grow. I think right now, once we get to the point where the Oz Championships kicked off and you know that Olympic are playing South Melbourne, you'll be there. But I think ultimately it's marketing it well. Like, we've been able to be fortunate enough chance to be able to help in the promotion of this league, be able to help to jump in and promote a Marconi Sydney United game or promote Uncle Ferraro playing Sydney Olympic. Like, not everyone's going to get that, and I think they need more people doing what we're trying to do, and the actual association itself pushing it to get people out there. Look at the NRL and the AFL. As much as we hate talking about it, the AFL.
Do you like it, Money?
I like AFL.
And I don't know.
Yeah,
Not a fan of it.
the AFL on.
But this is the difference, right? We're not a fan of the NRL, but we wouldn't go online and shit on it.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People are so negative these
Yeah.
days. It's so easy to jump on your phone and
Right, Luke.
A-League shit, Luke
Yeah.
Brattan shit. Like, you know what I
Kibble
mean?
Warriors,
Like,
Kibble
Luke
Warriors,
Brattan's shit.
it's so easy for that with no remorse. Like, you want to promote the league.
Yeah.
Be positive about it. There's good
100%.
football out there.
Yeah, look, like, I can't bag on the AFL because on Anzac Day they'll have 100,000 people down at the MCG. You know, with the Easter Friday clash with the Bulldogs with the Good Friday, they had 65,000 people there. Like, that's what we're trying to achieve. We want people to come out to games and spend their money at games.
You know what happened to me when I was in City? I was first time. I'm Collingwood fan, and Collingwood was playing against Sydney Swans.
Well, why are you calling a fan? Because they're the biggest team.
No,
Why?
because I love Collingwood.
Why, buddy?
I even know the song and everything.
Yeah, sing it,
Don't
yeah.
don't even test
Sing
me.
it, go.
Don't
Sing
even
it.
test me.
Uh,
Good old Collingwood.
Wait,
Hey, I know everything. Don't worry. Anyway,
how did you come to Collingwood? But like
my father.
Okay.
I'm
Die
a
Hard.
Western Bulldogs fan.
Doesn't matter. It's okay.
We
I'm lucky.
20.
Unlucky.
Sorry, Martin, as you
the
were?
point of the story is that I went to watch that, and it was a Friday night, and we play Saturday night at Amy Park. It was 96 or something thousand people
yeah.
on the MCG. The next game we played against, I think it was some big game for us. I think we played maybe in Western, and it was 2,200 people. I don't understand how it's possible that Friday you go and you watch 100,000 people. The next day, you go and it's 2,000 people, and it's beautiful stadium, beautiful part of the city. Like, it's and you don't
Two
have
good
people.
teams, like good football.
Yeah, it's good football. You're not going to watch like, oh, I'm just going to watch someone kicking
Some
someone.
random,
Here
yeah.
you actually play football.
Yeah.
That was the
100%.
1-7-1 against
But-
the Wanderers when Terry Antony scored a goal.
From halfway.
Halfway, yeah.
8-1?
That was the
When
one.
Terry scored, it's a long day.
7-8-1.
8-1, I think.
8-1.
Yeah, when Terry did this.
Yeah.
Rude didn't caught me.
Look,
Yeah.
it's a matter of marketing. It's a matter of selling it. You can't just run one ad the whole year. You can't just chuck it on Paramount and be like, oh, the Wanderers play Sydney FC this Friday. Make sure you check out on Paramount.
Yeah, it comes down to all the TV deals and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Like, no one wants
but
to
that's-
buy
yeah.
Paramount.
We could be there for 10 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
that's a
that's-
long story. Like I played when it was on Fox.
How good was it back in the day?
Unbelievable, bro.
Everyone says it.
Unbelievable.
Abs. Everyone says
Remember,
it.
you press the red button.
Martin, basically,
We used to average 18,000.
you used to have, as Luke was saying, one channel.
And that's
Even the SBS days. Champions League on the one channel.
yeah,
Premier
that's how
League one
it's.
channel.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Everything was
every game of football and the same thing.
You
was
can
best.
let me know if you agree with this. I reckon our ideal right now would have to be KO. If KO can get us, for example, because the NRL and the AFL basically only overlap with the A League for about 8 weeks. So when everyone keeps their KO subscription going throughout the whole year. If you log on to KO at 7:30 on a Saturday and you see the only thing really there is the A League, you're gonna watch the A League. Whereas if you've got it on Paramount, none of us buy Paramount for movies, respectfully.
yeah.
Please don't not hire us, but
What?
but like
Yeah, it's
Paramount,
actually true, yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, even AFL games are on
Yeah, NRL's there, AFL's there, rugby union's there, freaking BN Sports is on there. Like
Yeah.
we can watch the Bundesliga on there as well. I don't know. I just think we can go into this for
Yeah,
another
we can go, yeah.
40 minutes.
Yeah.
But you can affect that. It's not about players or about the clubs. It's about someone else doing some other job.
It's above our pay grade at the end of the day. Like we can
cannot
promote
be-
it all we
yeah.
want. We can show up to games all we
Yeah.
want. We're grateful for the access that we have, but yes, unless
It's not wrong.
this is coming through, the league's not going to grow. And respectfully, I think a lot of people in the actual league will tell you that too, because it's above even their own pay grade. They're just dealing with what they've got. I want to get onto your careers though, boys. Start with you, Marin. Growing up in Croatia, your youth days
Very
at
good. You might cry now because he's very good with this. He does a full monologue.
Yeah?
Martin. He's
Oh,
incredible.
okay,
Get ready.
okay.
You got the tears? All right, when you're ready. Sorry, tissues.
Yeah.
Marin Jakolis. Growing up in Croatia, your youth days at Hajduk Split.
Whoa, my
Hajduk.
youth days.
You skipped a bit.
My youth days.
Hajduk.
No. Šibenik.
Šibenik.
Grew up, born, raised until my first
Okay,
step.
Listen, your youth days could mean anything. Could mean when you were 20, 21. As Luke said,
True. Yeah.
because you also played in the under 21s.
Yes.
Croatia
Carry on,
as
Mr.
well.
Theology, when you're ready.
Talk to us about your time in the motherland.
Was good. Small city, not a lot of options. Not so good at school. Was actually pretty decent at basketball as well. Chose football because parents said so, and you just listen and do whatever. And I played there. Left Croatia when I was 16 and a half. Went to France, went to Belgium. Lost myself a little bit. Come back to Austria with one Croatian coach who knew me from when I was a kid. Had a little bit of he revived myself, my season, my everything, and he went to Hajduk, so I follow. And obviously in Croatia, Hajduk is something
Different level.
It's different. You cannot explain, and I cannot even compare it to nothing because you will never feel something like that. And especially if you're Croatian, you play for Hajduk, it's just different. It just feels different. You feel every person on the stadium. It's religion that even in Australia, if you see 100 Croatians, 99 will say Hajduk Split. So it's just different, and you cannot explain it with the words. I was there 2 times. One was a little bit off. Second one was good. Went to France, lost myself again a little bit. And then I think the best decision that I made was last year when I came here in Melbourne City for the loan and to actually experience that, Australia, good life, good football.
Did you think that you needed to get out of Europe, Marty?
Yeah, I think I was stuck because I was always around some I was in France, I played maybe 15 games, and then I went to loan to Cyprus, then I come back, then I'm like, what's happening now? And I think I was sick of that, what's happening with me, where I'm going and stuff like this. And
no certainty.
Yeah, and Melbourne City, when Rado Vidosic was the coach, he called me, and the way how he spoke to me, and I was like, okay, this is the guy I want to play for.
Yeah.
Man, could I... Just funny, so I don't know if I told you this. Rado Vidosic was my maths teacher in high school. Bro, how fucking random is that?
What a small
He was
world.
like a fill-in teacher.
Now, be honest, Marty, is he a better coach than Matt's teacher? Or...
Sorry, mate.
Unbelievable person.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bratty know him that well, but the person, I cannot tell you, okay, he got sacked so fast, he couldn't even do nothing. He got just sacked. And
But person, yeah.
But personally, he just stuck with you. Like it's just like when you ask me 10 years from now, I'll say to you, Rado Vidošić was the coach that I love.
Wow.
It's like it's just different, and the way how he communicated with us and the freedom he gave you, and it's just was lovely to play for him.
Wow.
And sometimes when you play, you play more for the coach than you play for the
I've heard
club.
a lot of players like that.
So when I was a Šibenik, it was hometown. I loved them, but we had this Spanish coach, Mario Rosas, sorry, and he was just a guy that I would die for him. Like me, who's not running like Luke and doesn't tackle like Luke, I will do all of that just for him. Just for him to
Why?
to
Why?
come.
What was it?
It's just the way how he talked to you, the way how he took care of you, even though you don't know. He would be like, oh, today we play 5 against 5, let's say, and you see you're tired. Just go off, or just be a joker, or just do this, or just do that. Everybody go to the gym.
Yeah.
Come talk with me, and then he would be like, just make you like, oh, he actually he takes care of you in a way that you
feel
don't
like
even
part of
think about.
family. Yeah.
And yeah, I think that this season was the peak, and I think I did. I wanted to come back, and I had a quick chat with Sam, and the moment he said, "Do you want to come?" I said yes, and it was just like basically that.
So where to now, Marin, for you? Because obviously record season for you. Where to now for you?
I think I have this luxury of being a free agent and coming off the contract with MacArthur and having a good season behind myself. I still have a like. When I came here, I said to myself, I want to win something, because in your life, if I say to you, I play football almost 20 years professional, I didn't win nothing, you'll be like, oh,
I agree.
you wanna you want to win a game, but you want to win something.
You
So
be known for something.
one day, Luke can say to the doors, look, Daddy want this, and this. I want to be like, okay, at least I can come now. I'm having a kid, whatever.
Yeah.
Look, your dad won the Australia Cup. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be something major, but I want to
Correct.
win something.
You
I
want
wanna-
something, yeah.
I want to feel.
your name.
Yeah. And it's just like it. I think that we were that competitive that we could win everything. Circumstances, whatever happens, we didn't. And I'm not giving up and saying, oh, this is it for me, and I'm never coming back. Like,
Yeah.
I had a talk, we had a chat, we are kind of in the middle of the agreement.
Yeah.
So it can happen tomorrow, it can happen in 2 weeks. But then in the same time, if something life changing comes to me, and I'm 29 next year, so this year.
Yeah.
So like, you wanna kind
Sort of in the peak now here.
yeah,
so-
you kind of wanna, okay, I did what I did.
Mhm.
Let's try a step.
Absolutely.
Goes there.
Do you think though this is the first time in your career you've had that stability? Because you mentioned you lost yourself a few times, and you've come to Australia, you went to Melbourne City, and now you found yourself at MacArthur. You look happy.
Yeah.
You look that you're focused now. You know what you want, and I think you found yourself as a player.
A lot of I think if you see my interviews 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years, I was always talking that I kind of need the confidence of someone else. So when this guy comes to me, he's like, I said to him, I'm late. We need to be at 6, and I'm 6:20. I'm late. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Just come on the game. Like, he knows that even if I come not ready and I just put my boots, that will be
You
good.
can still deliver.
And I'm like, okay. And then Mila is coming to me and he's saying this and that. And like, I'm like, okay. So if someone else believes in you, why the fuck would I not believe myself?
Is it true we hear, obviously outsiders looking in, but it's true that there's this confidence thing that some players do rely on external motivation than internal. Is that a big thing, Luke, that you've noticed as well, being around so many change rooms?
Yeah. You get players like when they're confident, they're unbelievable. When they're not, it's like they can't even play football.
Okay.
Confidence is a crazy thing.
It's
Crazy
amazing.
thing.
Like it's
And
massive.
would you say that, Martin, you're one of those?
I just now later in the season, I kind of took responsibility that I never took anywhere before, because I was not that guy.
Okay.
In City, I had a big dogs. I had McLaren, I had Lex, I had Aziz, I had people who were taking care of the business, and I'm just there to play.
Yeah.
Here,
Circumstances arose.
it's like this. So it's Luke. It's told me it's maybe this, maybe that, but who is the one that plays every game with him? It was me. So you need to take that responsibility, even though I don't say I don't want it or I want it. It just comes to you, and you need to handle it.
You have to own it.
And then sometimes when I get lost, I just come to him and I'm like, okay, what's happened? Like, what? Tell me.
Yeah.
And you need this. Okay, I need to do that. Give me the ball, I will do that. Like, I just in moments like you need to know your players, and I think that in this team we had a coach who knew his players, and the players inside of them who know their players. Like,
Makes a big difference.
Teammates like this. This was one of the dressing room, I would say, the best I ever had.
Wow.
You don't have inside of the dressing room before every game or on training. You say, tomorrow if Barcelona comes to play against us, we win against them.
Wow.
we were
That was the
so
comp, yeah.
we were so close. We were hanging out more outside of the football than on the pitch,
That's
on
something
the
special.
training. Like
Yeah.
it was different. No fighting. I never like nothing. Like not a bad word. Like jokes. Everybody joking with everything. Everybody. You see one guy who you never put with this guy. They're best friends.
Luke, you can
Oh.
vouch for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of yourself, you ever seen
Oh
that?
yeah.
You've been to many dressing rooms. You reckon that's right up there?
Yeah, it's top. One of the top ones.
Wow.
I've been in some very good ones.
Yeah.
and
But
it's-
yeah,
it's very-
this was
Any
good.
particular reason for that, boys? Or it just clicked. Sometimes it just
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
it's just like
No, there's no dickheads.
yeah.
no egos.
yeah,
No egos,
Yeah,
eh?
we don't
No
have
dickheads.
someone who's like
And if there was, everyone would
snuff it out.
stop it
Yeah.
straight away.
All the successful teams of that policy, it's called no dickhead policy.
Mm.
Yeah, like no, seriously, it
Yeah,
exists in
yeah.
every sport. Whether it's AFL, NRL, football. Like you got to have that around you. And do you reckon that your time overseas, yeah, you might have not had the best time in France and Belgium, and I believe you were Austria as
Yeah.
well.
Cyprus. No.
You know,
Something like
and
that, yeah.
Cyprus, but it made you who you are today.
yeah.
You
Of
know,
course.
the
100%.
lessons you've learned, the people you've met. You know,
Yeah, I think when I was in France, this first year was good. Like you are honeymoon period, you know. You are there, you are playing against Marseille, Paris.
Hmm.
You see everything. You're like, oh man, like
Big
wow, I
lights.
did something, you know.
Yeah.
And then after 6 months, you are just like, oh, it was your fault for this, and then and you just say like, what?
Straight
Like
away.
it's my fault
Flick.
that this happens.
no, they'll throw you right under the bus.
And yeah, exactly. And after 1 year, I'm not good enough that I was 6 months ago, and I'm like, you're out. You're with second team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So when you were at Angers, did you you played against? Were you there for the game against Paris?
Yes.
Against
Home game.
Messi.
Home game. Yes.
Yeah,
And
that's-
Mbappe.
Be honest, is
Di
he,
Maria.
he's different level.
Yeah, I don't even know how to talk about them, but yeah, for me the most crazy stuff it's like just Mbappe, seeing him switch on like that, like walking, talking shit, talking to linesmen, talking to ref, talking to I don't know who,
And then just
and the moments Di Maria
Yeah,
or
one
Messi
man.
has the ball, he's just on the other side already running, like just this concentration and his style is different sport. Me and Luke, we play something else. They play something else.
Golf.
It's-
Yeah.
yeah.
So I love this.
and
Wow.
the last one as well. You represented Croatia at under 21s level as
Yeah.
well, and under 17s, I believe. What's it like putting the jersey on? Because I know my lovely co-host
my
over
question,
there,
but yeah,
Thomas.
carry on, buddy.
We're gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that discussion.
No,
to
no,
you.
I've got a question after funny, but there we go.
What does it mean? Like, what does it mean? What does football mean to the Croatians to the
Yeah.
point where when you put on that jersey and you represent it, people like Nate Bratanovic to our right here, you know,
Thinks, wow.
makes them proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a big thing, obviously. And under 21, it was like I think after maybe 10 or 12 or 15 years that Croatia didn't go on the Euro. Under 21 that year we went, and there were so many generations of Brozovic, Perisic, blah blah blah. They were going through, and nobody did that, and we did it.
Mm.
And we had some unbelievable names: Halilovic, Brekalo, Vlasic, all of them playing. Halilovic went for 25 million to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Like you had an unbelievable team,
Mm.
and I'm playing striker, and
Yeah.
you're like, whoa, like I'm here actually with those guys who you read in Croatia, you read everything in newspaper.
Yeah.
Even if you are out with your wife, they're writing tomorrow. Luke Brattan is with his wife on the dinner. Like that's how Croatia is.
Yeah.
And that's how everybody knew your life. They will see you on the street and what the fuck you doing? He go home. Or like they are direct. If you play for the team, you are the best until you do something wrong. Then you are the worst until you do something good. Then you are the best again.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
No.
And it was a special one, and it was good experience. Play against some of the big names.
Quick one from me. Brekalo or Vlasic, who's had a better career? was it
I
there,
think Vlasic
Yeah?
did the better.
Nikola?
I mean, both of them. I don't even
talent,
know. Like
yeah.
it's different.
Yeah.
I just think Vlasic had a more of his father who did what he did with Blanca, and he did the same with him. He did a machine of him, and he knew what he needs to do, and he was just focused on that. And 16, 17 playing for Hajduk, going to Everton, like it's a big thing that he did, and he's a good bloke. So I think he did unbelievable. Now he's captain.
You just
playing
hit
for Torino.
100 games for Torino as
Yeah.
well.
So like if you are captain in Torino and you are his 1 year, 2 years, so he's 26,
27,
26-ish, and you have a youngest player who's to score for Hajduk, youngest player to play for Hajduk, 10 million to Everton, playing in this Torino captain. So you did something good,
And
I think
for us, that trend means like
yeah, it means
it stays with you for a long time. Anyway,
yeah.
sorry.
So I think he did an unbelievable job.
100%. Any Croatian moments you guys want to share?
I don't think me and Buddy live with this. He plays on the field. I just observe.
Nah, it's good. Like in a sense of the what it means. Like for example, I'm Lebanese. Like we've always said, I don't have that football. You know, we don't have that great football country. We don't have that kind of like, you know, where we can go. We know this player, that player. That we don't. That's not us. So like to see what it means to you guys and all that. It's a
Especially
beautiful
when you
thing.
think
Special,
about
man.
Croatia is 4 million people.
Correct.
Yeah.
We're talking about one average suburb in Melbourne.
Because even same here with Lebanon, we've got I think 3.5,
see?
4 million people. We're not a big
And
country.
if there was a stadium for 4 million people, every single Croatian will be there.
100%.
Guaranteed. Without a
Croatia
shadow
will
of a
play and there will be
Simple.
everywhere.
He said that. He said that before.
doubt. It's true.
He said
That's
that
true.
before.
It's true.
It's
It's a,
100%. It's like that.
it's a different.
And I think if you have that kind of love for the game
Yeah.
in this country
Takes you so far.
with this so many people opportunities, every game is packed, and you are enjoying the football. And then Douglas Costa will come and say, "Okay, I'll come." You don't even need to ask him; he will call you and say, "Can I come?"
Yeah, you'd have half the World 11 coming to play here. No, I'm not joking.
It's,
Like
yeah,
like imagine Acol Stadium packed out for like a Sydney FC versus Wanderers game or Sydney FC versus MacArthur or
It's happened.
MacArthur
I've
versus
done that.
Wanderers.
It's been there.
Brisbane Stadium. It was my first time playing there. Now when I scored.
Suncorp Stadium, 52.
What's the name of the?
Yeah, Suncorp.
Yeah.
Suncorp,
Oh,
52.
man, I got sad.
Yeah,
Do they need to move to Prairie Park, Luke, immediately?
At the moment, yeah.
I think
better
they,
for them.
Like
yeah.
when
they have to. Martin.
When you're losing every game, you cannot have a full big stadium to.
It's bad.
If you're
Sad,
winning,
man.
yeah.
The 3 finals I played there were 52,000.
Yeah, against us as well.
Before we move on to Luke, I got one last question. Rate the Chavapi out of 10 in Australia.
I only ate in Melbourne and they were absolutely unbelievable.
Kim Tom, you haven't eaten Clay Thomas? Or
No, I ate here. I ate burek.
From where? David's World.
Something is it's in actually in Fairfield.
Wakely, yeah, at all. No, the
What's the
Fairfield one,
name
yeah.
on the Fairfield? Yeah.
It's Serbian owned.
What's the name?
Euro Bakehouse.
No,
Different.
no, something family something.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Have you been to Jurezevski's bakery?
I didn't. No, I didn't eat chawap here.
No, I haven't. Okay, I think Thomas.
Fake Croatian, bro.
Yeah.
Milo was right.
Here we go.
Hey, last time from me, as I was thinking, Marin, we saw Croatia 2018, 2022 World Cups, what they've done, the journey and the heart and the passion they displayed through Dalic and the squad. Is that something that's ingrained into you guys when you're inside that system from the academy, coming in from the juniors into the 18s, 17s, 21s? Or is it just something that it's in our blood, in our DNA, the way we...
I just think it's our blood. I think it has to do with all the stuff that Croatia went through.
Yeah.
You know how it was. You
All
know
the
you know
stuff.
everybody how was the war and stuff. And then I think just our parents and our grandparents and their parents, they have this thing in themselves that for your country you'll do whatever it takes. And then you see Croatia in the World Cup when nobody expects them to win against someone.
Brazil.
Somehow they win. They go 120 minutes, they win. They penalties, they win.
Even outside of football, do you reckon that shaped you as a person as well, having that be able to come back from adversity?
Yeah, of course. I think if I'm lucky enough to get raised in such a city/family who know what was been before and what is now and
Yep.
what they need to do to come to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I know from my father and my mom what they've been through to give me what I have now.
Yeah.
And then when I talk with Tommy or with Ivan, and then Tommy tell me almost exactly the same story that his parents told to him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so it's all of us have
Absolutely.
the same story, and that's
Sounds
why I
special.
think it's a. I was blessed that I got born and raised in Croatia. That is like it was just It's a, don't get me wrong, it's a poor country. We are not
Yeah, no.
like some of my ex teammates or current teammates say we are a third world country, Croatia.
Yeah.
But just the love and the way how we became Croatia was more than
Special.
just special. Yeah. And then you can see it on every sport. We are good in basketball somehow. We are good in handball how. We are good in water polo how.
Nice.
We are good in football how.
Yeah.
4 million people. Come on.
No, look, it's like
It's, yeah.
No chance. It's not a fluke.
Yeah, it's not
a
fluke. Yeah.
Yeah.
In every sport that you are good.
it's natural.
Volleyball somehow you are good. Like
It's not natural born talent. You know?
exactly.
Golf.
Golf. So you can pick up golf in 1 year. You can almost beat Luke. Almost with 18 shots lead over 9 holes.
What's your handicap? What's your handicap, buddy?
I don't have one yet. I think
You're that good. You don't have one.
I don't have one because I'm that bad. But no, look. What would you give me as a handicap? Be honest.
honestly,
Be honest. Don't. I'll. You know I can take everything. So
Between 20 and 25.
good. I'm happy.
You know
Oh.
what?
What's his strongest? Driving, putting.
His nickname.
Buddy, what's
His nickname. The doctor.
Oh,
Doctor
Doctor,
Doctor Chipinski.
Yeah.
Chippins.
Around the
Chipping,
green.
man, is
It's just
Now-
he,
now-
he
because you
chips
need to
in
feel
once
it.
around.
You need to feel it, and we have the feeling, you know.
You do this one, there's the grass, and do the wind.
Of course,
It goes
I
this
saw
way.
it from Bratsy. Every time before he has a shot, he's like this. I'm like, okay. And I'm like this. I start doing something. I'm like, great.
Just copy the skipper, copy the skipper. Put on
I'm
skipper,
like,
that's all thing.
the wind is there. I'm fucking aiming there. It's going left. I'm like, yeah, I saw the wind going there as well. And I said, it's a wind. And then Luke is that kind of guy. He's like, yeah, good shot, man. Like he don't want to say it's bad. He's like, yeah, it's good. Unlucky.
Mate, you learned that from Hasmul Masri.
True.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, he used to pick it up and throw it up in the air. Hey, so it was created by Lebo. See?
What?
The world, apparently, the whole everything.
Anyway, on to Luke. Mate, you've had an illustrious career. Sorry,
career.
buddy.
So carry on.
Sorry.
Carry on.
Sorry, buddy. We love you.
No, I
mate.
said it's a great career. I'm serious.
I'm joking.
He knows that.
Luke, we love you. You don't know.
Love it too.
Marriage when you're ready.
All right.
That's
You've had
like a hot
illustrious-
story, honestly. Swear to God.
Yeah.
This one looks into him.
He's hard work
Listen,
since last year.
we're trying to like he
He
left
laughed,
us. He left us. We're
Look
hurt.
at him while you do it.
But
You,
I'm
you keep saying I left
Yeah,
you.
don't be
you,
like
you
that.
don't know the story.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There is yin and
Now,
yang. You need to
question.
both
Listen,
We-
sometimes mum and dad don't tell the kids what actually happened.
True.
You know,
Is mum and dad going to tell? Or is that we allowed to?
I don't know who the mum and the
Disclose.
dad is in this situation, but
Well, it's not
we'll
Luke.
figure it. Anyway, Luke, you've had an illustrious career. You've played under some of the best managers we've had in this country. You've played at Brisbane Roar. You've won trophies there. You've played at FC. You won trophies there. You've been at Melbourne City, Manchester City. You've played in Bolton as well. A long, long career. You know, if you could sum it up in a few sentences in terms of your experience and what you've learned along the way, how would you put it?
Yeah, it's been enjoyable. Obviously, I started at Brisbane. I was a bit of a late bloomer, really. I was in the youth team and playing NPL and whatnot, and Rado Vidicic. He was. So I went to a footballing school. It was like a sports school, like Westfields. Played there. He was the soccer teacher at the time, and he was also the assistant coach to Farina at Brisbane Roar. And it's funny. He said to me, I couldn't, like, I was short. I was like now, pretty much short, slow, all that sort of stuff. I couldn't sprint 100 meters in like under 3 seconds or something.
Is this
like
true, Muddy? This is still true or not?
So Rado said to me, he goes, "Oh, Brattan, you'll never be professional.
Yeah.
Never. You can't sprint 20 meters in 3 seconds. You can't get 14 on the beep test. Like, you'll never be professional." And then he ended up signing me to Brisbane Roar
What a story.
a couple of years
Right,
later
right,
to play in the youth team. And then from then on, Frank was the coach at the time, and he offered me a contract. And before I could sign it, he got sacked. And Ange came in, and Ange pretty much said, "You got 2 weeks to train and show me, and then if I want you, then you can sign the deal." So yeah, ended up signing there. Played there for six years, I think.
Yeah.
Through the glory days, won a lot of stuff there. I think 3 finals and 2 premierships.
Yeah.
And then signed at City and went over there, and that was a tough period for me. I was living at home in Brisbane. Went over there, and I'm from England originally, so obviously my dad played over there.
Did you ever live there?
No, I came over here when I was like 1.
Okay.
So my dad came here to play in the old NSL.
Yep.
So I went back over there, still had family over there. Went to City, trained there for probably about 6 weeks. Went to Bolton. Was there for 6 months and didn't play a game.
Yeah.
Which was hard. The coach asked me to go there. He wanted me, so I was like, okay. I had a couple options.
Yeah.
I was like, no, if the coach wants me, then it's the right place, really. They're in the championship. Went there and trained for a couple of months. Wasn't even in the squad. They were fighting relegation, losing every game. So I'd never really witnessed anything like that. and I was, funnily enough, you're an Arsenal fan. I was with Rob Holding.
No way.
Me and Rob were
At Bolton.
at Bolton together. Weren't playing, not
Yeah.
in any squads. And then after 6 months, the loan deal ran out, and I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna. I want to go somewhere. I'm gonna play." So then I went back to City, trained there for a couple of more weeks, until I got loaned out again. And then from then on, just went around. Went to Rotherham, didn't play. Went to Bury, didn't. Just it was like a training
Yeah.
loan thing. And
How was that, Luke? Obviously, from having a stellar career in Brisbane, winning a multitude of stuff, and then going in and they kind of get a sniff when they're getting relegated. How was that personally?
it's frustrating because and it's a different world over there because they play Saturday, Tuesday.
Okay.
So
Is that similar in Croatia, Monty?
it's hard when you're not playing to show anything because they don't train. They play, they recover. They do a light session before the game. They play,
Playing.
they recover.
Oh,
they
wow.
train.
Okay.
So my training sessions, I was pretty much part time. I was training like 3 or 4 times a week. Like it was tough.
Wow.
Because you join in with training. That it'll be like the day before a game. We don't do much day before a game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Small sided games. That's it. So then, if you're not in the squad,
Can't show much.
Yeah, you're losing every game.
Mm.
They're getting relegated. You're sitting there going, I can't do anything. So I ended up, when I was at Bolton, me and Rob were like, let's go play 21s. So we played 5 or 6 just to keep fit because you can train all you want, but
Yeah.
there's nothing like match
Game
fitness.
fitness
Yeah.
is
Because Rob was picked up, I think, a season or 2 after he would have
Yeah.
been left because
So,
he played that play the FA Cup final, I believe, under Wenger's last game. Him,
Yeah.
Murtasaka, and I think it was Monreal at the back.
Yeah.
And I remember from then they were like, oh, he's going to be the next big
Yeah.
thing. But how did you move to City happen? Like, what was the whole, like, because City's a big club, obviously. And how did they get eyes on you here? Was it through an agent? Was it?
It's a funny story, actually. I was contracted to Brisbane and they owed me a lot of money through superannuation. And I was like, it was like 4 years worth of super. So I was like, okay, I want my money. So I ended up going through PFA, took them to court. And that preseason, Johnny Aloisi came in. Macca was there. Anyway, the end of the season before, we were playing against Melbourne City. And a guy was in the crowd, Brian Marwood. He's like high up in City. Great guy. Like I think he runs, I don't know his official term, but he runs all the City clubs, like looks over them. So he was just over visiting City and playing at Amy, and I must have played well. And he was sat next to one of the coaches and said, "Oh, Bratton's a good player. You know, we should sign him." He goes, "Oh, I used to play with a Gary Bratton. He ended up playing with my dad back in England.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at Cambridge.
Oh, wow.
So he was like, and the coach that he was talking to was the coach at City, played with my dad in the NSL. So they both knew my dad. So they were like, fuck, like, let's talk to him. So anyway, I had another year back in Brisbane, and they were like, look, we want to offer you a deal, 4-year contract, Man City. I said, okay, there's one condition. I don't want to play in the A-League. I want to go over there. I want to, as a young player, I wasn't even young. Yeah.
25? You would have been
24, 25.
Yeah.
Done everything in the A-League already. I was like, I want to go test myself over there. So that's how that came about. Ended up getting out of the contract because they owed me super. Signed at City for 4 years. And then, that year in England was tough, but if you said to me you'd do it again, I'll do it 100%. 100%.
It builds you.
Yeah.
I was living away from home. Me and my missus were living by ourselves in a different country. It made me the person I am today. It helped me and my missus. We grew. I still had family there. We're couple hour drive away. I got to witness. I was down the road from Old Trafford, so I went to every derby.
Wow.
At City, they look after you. So the first 8 weeks, I was staying on the training ground, and it's different level. Like we talk about Melbourne City facilities. Mate. They had 13 pitches.
Oh, yeah.
I
want those have 10. We're not bad. We're not far off.
They have a school that everyone goes to. They come straight from school, from under 5s, under 6s, straight to training 3 times a week. The best
It's an
facilities, best
institution
coaches, best gyms. From 6, 7 years old. Anyway, so I stayed on the training ground and then eventually moved out. My missus came over, went to every derby, every City home game, like walking to the stadium in snow. Never seen snow before. So it was like, and then obviously, like I said before, went to Oldham on like a 2-week trial, and they were the same. They were playing
They're like League
Saturday,
One at the time
Tuesday.
or
They were
whatever.
League One, Saturday, Tuesday, and the standard was terrible. And I was in training. Oh, fuck is this? Like,
Oh wow.
just people kicking the shit out of each other, kicking it long. They're all small-sided games. It was like old v young, one touch, hailing sideways.
Oh jeez. Hail Marys all day.
And I'm like, this isn't me. Like, I want to get the ball played. And the coach's like, nah, fucking get it in there. And then I was sat in the change room. The facilities were terrible. And I'm sat in the change room after the session, just looking down. Like, what am I doing here? And the guy comes to talk to me. He's like, oh, where are you from? Like, Australia. He goes, yeah, but where are you? I'm like, oh, I'm from City. Signed 4-year deal with City. He goes, what the fuck are you doing here? It's like, I'm on a 4-week contract. He's on an 8-week contract.
Fuck.
And it's like, okay, there's 1,000 of me there fighting for a contract, fighting for a 6-week contract. Like,
Yeah.
For 6 weeks.
6
Where's
weeks,
the
you know what I mean?
stability in that? Nothing.
anyway, long story short, I went over there, didn't play a game. Got to a stage where I was like, okay, I'm not 18, 19, where I can stay over there for a few years, sacrifice a couple of years and just keep grinding. I was like, I'm 25, I want to enjoy myself, miss my family. And then they were like, do you want to come back to Melbourne? I was like, yep, perfect. And then, yeah, went to City, unbelievable. Won the cup there, was there for 3 years. And then, yeah, then Bimby approached me, and it was funny that actually when I left City, I had a sniff in Turkey.
Okay.
Ended up flying over to Turkey. I spoke to Aziz, messaged him, just like, look, this is a club. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
And he was at a big club.
Yeah.
He was like, look, he goes, if you're at the big club, it's good. You get your money on time. You get this. I flew over there for a medical and a sign on all this, and the money was unbelievable. The city was terrible. Didn't fly to the city. They took me to Istanbul. I was there for 3 days, and found out my missus was pregnant like 2 days before I flew out.
Oh.
So I left her in Melbourne. Her family's in Brisbane. My family's in Brisbane. So I was like, left her. We already had our first child as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm flying pretty much the next day. It was done like that.
Wow.
Anyway, I was over there. They showed me around, took me on a boat, all this sort of stuff. Istanbul was beautiful. Money was big.
Yep.
And then a few things, long story short, Aziz and the agent sort of said, you're not guaranteed your money. And I was like, the agent for the club was like, I've got 10 players here. He goes, you might not get your money the first year. First, it was like 50,000 euros sign on. We were going to split like 150, so we'll get 50 each. He goes, I'll take your 50, and when you get a bank account, I'll transfer it to you.
Well, we don't trust that. You don't trust that.
That's a
You
lot
never.
of money. You know what I mean? From
Yeah.
playing it in Brisbane as a kid,
Wow.
there's a lot of money in
Yeah.
Australia. And then he's like, you know, if you don't get your money the first month, you might get it the second month. If you don't, you might get it a couple of months later. He said, but you know, I have a lot of players at this club. Don't ask questions because that means you're just causing trouble. And I was like, I got a mortgage.
Yeah.
Got a mortgage, a
Australia,
kid at home and one
I
on the
got a
way.
kid,
Yeah.
one on the way. I was like, I can't do
It's
this.
like a little syndicate.
Just had a
going
gut
there.
feeling. So I ended up pulling out and coming back. And they were all right about it. The Australian agent had a big problem with it.
Yeah.
Smashed me.
Of course, yeah. But
Yeah, he was collecting 50,000.
that's his little
staying there for 2 days and going home. Didn't give a fuck about me. So
What a cash grab.
and then obviously, yeah, I signed at Sydney and was there for 5-6 years and
Captain the side in your last year as well.
captain, went through the highest of highs and lowest of lows as well. Like I said before, there's a lot of stuff off the pitch that first year I was there that I won't go into that was so tough. Won everything there is to win, and then did my ACL.
Yep.
And then, yeah, so that was a roller coaster. And then came back and was captain. But loved every minute there. Special club and yeah, it was great. And now at MacArthur with my friend over
With
here.
your brother.
Brate.
My brother.
Croatian
Um,
friends.
And yeah, and spent a year at MacArthur and won a trophy as well, which obviously Marin talked about before how he's played for 15 years and never won anything. It's so hard to win a trophy, and players play for 20 years and don't win anything. So I've been very lucky to play in some top teams and win some trophies. And this year again, we have a great squad and yeah, won the cup, which was fantastic.
Do you reckon when you look back on your career, maybe 5, 6 years time, and you think like, should I actually won a couple of things? Like, and as Manny was saying before, you can tell the next generation. Do you reckon at the time you took it for granted? Obviously, being young at Brisbane, and go out, enjoy yourself the night after, the week after.
Yeah.
But you look back and you go like, fuck man, like you had a dynasty at Brisbane.
Yeah,
Seriously, even as Wanderers in Sydney, you got to credit where it's due.
yeah,
You guys had a dynasty there.
yeah. That time was I was living at home. I was young, was going out after every game. We were just riding the wave, really. It was incredible. You just knew, especially with Ange, you just knew that
Success was coming.
You talk to people now and they're like, fuck, we hated going to Suncorp. We just knew the pitch was big, it's hot. You guys, Bob does. We just knew, like, it's like that Sydney year. We just knew we were going to win games, and the way you did it and everything like that. And you look back and you're like, fuck, we enjoyed it. After all the grand finals, it was like a week. I said to my missus, "You won't see me for a week."
Yeah,
it was. There was no social media, no nothing. So it was like just go out and just drink,
enjoy yourself.
When I think I talk about that now, the boys, like, now I'm coming towards the end of my career. I'll miss the football and the trophies and all that sort of stuff, but the banter in the change room, like, I've been involved in some great change rooms, and the stories that I have from inside the change room is like, I'll never forget it, man. And you can't get that anywhere else. You can't get that in an office job.
I was gonna say
job site. You can maybe get that, but man, the change room is, and we got a good one this year, and it's special. But that's the thing I'll miss most.
What is it about being a bunch of lads similar age, between the 18 and 35? What is it about just being a bunch of lads trying to achieve something, and then people always say it's not the football, it's the team. What is it about? Just is it inside a locker room? You just let loose, you enjoy, you talk, chat some shit if you need to. But like, well, what is it? Is it just something you can't describe? Is there?
Yeah, you can't describe it. There's just like there's no judgment at all. Like everything goes. Like, and for me, it's like now I'm a little bit older. I got treated a little bit differently when I was a young boy. Like I said before, you can't the way I got treated. You can't do that to the young boys now.
Yeah,
no.
It's just a different generation. They you
Times
can't.
have changed.
I try to a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's only a certain point you can get to before it's. Yeah, I won't go into that, but
I get it.
But
I get it.
For me now, I think
Might have said no as well.
I feel as though anyone in the change room at any moment can come to me and be like, "Look, off the pitch, on the pitch, what do you think?" And I've had conversations this year. Obviously, it's been hard with people aren't playing. What do I need to do? And I think I'm pretty approachable. And when I need to be, I'm hard and. He's whinging again.
Yeah.
But I think that I see the young boys now, and he's experienced Europe. The boys that go over there now, they have no idea what they're in for. They've got it so easy here. They think they just deserve to be training. They think just because they played a couple of NPL games, scored a couple of goals in NPL, they should be training. They see a couple of young boys playing around the league. Oh yeah, I should be playing.
How hard is it, buddy, to go there, establish yourself? How hard is it?
I didn't have luck that I went somewhere where I was actually young and that I got the chance. Like, here you are, you have 5 games.
No matter how you play.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like,
that's it.
I would even when I came to Ange, I was having 20 minutes, 25. Had a good 25, then you have 35. Had a shit 35, then you have 15. Like, I never get to that step that I'm like, okay, now I'm here. Now someone else needs to go up to this position.
Take your position.
Yeah. It's just hard, man. It's hard.
But even 10 years ago in the A League, it was like that, bro.
Yeah.
My first year in the A League, I played like 8 minutes, 9 minutes.
In the whole league?
The whole league.
Oh, wow.
My first season, the whole league. 2009, I played like 1 game or two games off. Oh, I think it was 1 game off the bench.
And now players expect to play 90 minutes every day.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, yeah, look, this guy is so good. He did like Irakunda. Look at him. He's playing every game. He's scoring now. Everybody thinks that's easy. Like, I just come in. Yeah. Even when we play against, let's say, this year when we played the cup games and then we were some MPL teams. Like, the comments they're making is like, I could replace you easily. Like,
they all think they should play there.
They all think that if they put them on our place, they would do the same even better.
No chance without it.
And they're like, yeah, you are here. Like, you are paid for this. Like, Like, man, like, you think this is so easy? Like, what we think in Croatia? It's so easy to be a football player. It's so easy to play football.
Yeah.
It's
We've
not.
seen
It's
it.
not. It's not. There's so many stuff that you cannot control and that affects everything. And even if you're a good player, you come in a shitty dressing room.
Even
Sure.
this, if you don't have this, all the players,
Yeah,
it's
we've
finished.
seen it so many times as well. Like the amount of players that have come through the MPL to the A League and played probably 3 games at the start of the season and be dropped for the rest of it. There's levels to it, and I just want to go back on the camaraderie thing. Like even with us, we're not football players. We're not a football
Glad
club.
you established that.
But football in general, I'm saying football in general. Like when we first met you boys, like when we came down to a training session, straight away we're like, we're not gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, how are you, Marin? Oh, great. Oh, let's do this football challenge. And you go, no, you want to treat them like, like your boys. Like at the end of the day, I don't want to make, we've always said we don't want to make players feel like, big Brattan. Like it's,
We're humans.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
You know what I
humans
mean?
too.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, just because you play for a football club or you're a football player or you're a professional doesn't, I know that you don't want to be treated like that. And I think if the boys, for example, especially in the changing room, are like that themselves too, where you can have banter just because you're the captain doesn't mean I can't have a laugh with you.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned Ange before doesn't talk to their player. Fair enough. Because at the end of the day, you keep your distance away from your coach. But when it comes to the boys, if you're going to be a dickhead in the changing room, you're going to ruin all of that.
You have to have some kind of connection,
Yeah.
even if it's minimum, if it's just on the pitch. And I had this in a friends. Like we would train and that's it. See you tomorrow. Like there is
Oh
nothing.
wow.
There is no.
Did you go team dinners? Nothing.
Like maybe once every now and then, but it was more like train, talk in the dressing room a little bit. You had like a couple of groups. You talk with them, whatever you talk. I was good with everybody, whatever. I would talk with them and then see you tomorrow. I go home and I'm like, what now? It's 12.
Especially if you're by yourself. I was watching Alfonso Davies, but I know it's a completely different thing with Bayern Munich, and he for a while struggled by himself, always isolated. How hard is it as a player to be in that corner where all the boys there? Oh yeah, we're going out. Oh yeah, meet us there at that time. We don't really. How hard is it as a player to be on the front
Imagine that,
lines?
and then you're not playing as
Correct.
well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's tough.
What the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah, it's tough, man.
You come home and you're like, oh look, what happened?
Especially by yourself at home. If you got no support system, yeah,
That's every workplace, but like I've had jobs where I've worked that I've felt I need to get out of here because I can tell you're not wanted here. You're not kind of, being shown support or appreciation by anyone to the point where it's depressing. You go home and you're alone and you feel like you can't complain to this person because this person will tell that person. And you end up in almost a sanctum that you don't want to be around.
And then on top of that, imagine someone online saying, "Oh, you're shit at your
Yeah.
job.
yeah.
You're,
I'm just,
I could
yeah.
easily do your job. You're shit at it."
Yeah. Like seriously, I'm an accountant by trade. I can just imagine finishing a day's job in the office and going home. Some guy's like, "Oh, Abs is shit at doing tax returns. Oh, I could deduct more than that." Like I can't imagine
But
that.
imagine
And
that
every time,
in a final.
times
Or
million, times
imagine that.
1,000.
Yeah, with video and photo footage and all of that.
Imagine that.
It's not easy. Like even with us, as much as we are critical of football and results, we've created a level. We've now understood that even with us, we say stuff online, and people will come at us like, "Oh, blah blah blah." I'm an FC supporter at the end of the day, but we've had the opportunity to work with the Wanderers on some crazy events, with the Juan Mata event. Some Victory fan mentioned it the other week, where he's like, "Oh, have some shame, you're a Sydney fan selling out to the Wanderers." Dude, I'm doing a freaking presenting gig. Like we're doing a presenting gig here. Like, relax. Like
Trying to promote the game in general.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with that. It's so easy now to jump online and be negative.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
before we end it, I'm gonna ask you one last question. Arnie, Ange, Popper.
I didn't have Arnie.
You didn't?
No, I was never with Arnie.
You had Bimby.
Bimby.
You didn't have a year with Arnie?
No.
Crazy.
I came. Arnie left, and then Bimby had 1 year. I came the second year. Bimby was.
Why do I think you had Arnie?
Mm.
I don't know. Well, Bimby, Popper, and Ange ranked the 3. Not as coaches, as impact on you.
That's a tough one.
Oh, it's even harder.
That's even
Yeah,
worse.
Why have you done him there?
Just said
Right.
Why?
just said
Well, there was no need. Why have you done
coaches
him?
in general, and then just results. I don't know how you can.
Oh, shit.
That's fine. That's hard.
They're all all.
They'll taught you different things.
Yeah, but all had a massive impact. Like Ange gave me my first contract.
Mm.
Pretty much shaped me into being a footballer. Showed me what football was meant to be like.
Something that stays with you forever.
Something that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Like the drills, every day was like drilled into us from day one about how we're going to play, and it was successful. So that journey, Bimby was helped me off the pitch through
Yeah.
so much hard stuff. On the pitch, we were successful together.
Yeah.
And then Popper gave me
Yeah,
the one thing that I hadn't had
the whole career.
that I was desperate to get.
Mm.
And everyone talks about how it feels when I'm getting goosebumps now, like how it feels when you play for your national team and when you're like stood there in front of 60,000 in Japan and you're singing the national anthem and like,
Be
man,
honest.
that, like so
yeah.
every one of them did something different
Well,
for me. You know what I mean? So
you don't have to answer the question.
I can't answer it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I can't.
so sort of sidetrack off that, but be honest in terms of like, because obviously we've interviewed Adam Matthews, etc. Really young player that's made his Socceroos debut early. But for you, Luke, personally, at that age, coming, did you at one point thought it's never coming? I'm just not going to achieve it.
Yeah,
That's crazy. And then and to get it at that age,
yeah,
it must have
it made it. I'm not going to say it made it more special,
Yeah.
but it definitely added to it because obviously I've done everything in the A League.
Yeah.
Won everything, played everything, all stars.
that was your final tickle box.
That was like the one thing where I was like, man, like, and I felt everyone's got their opinions, but I felt like I deserved it a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know, I was successful, played in the best teams, got team of the year, got all that stuff, was in good form.
Yeah.
I felt myself I deserved it a long time ago. And for whatever reason, you can go into all of it, politics, all that sort of stuff. Like, and then when I started seeing people play 10 games, then get a cap, I was like,
No,
What
what am I doing here?
man, I played I tell a story to the boys. I was in the Socceroos camps when Ange was there. I was in like 3 camps. We're playing in Perth against Pakistan or something like that. We were 5-1 up and I was sat on the bench and he like looked up and looked along the bench and we made eye contact. And I was like, I'm fucking on here. I'm on.
Yeah, surely 5-1.
This is
Yeah.
it. 5-1, 10 minutes to go. Sat back down. I'm like, keep looking.
Do I warm up? Do I not?
Didn't get on. You know what I mean? And then obviously I see boys in their first camps getting on like that, playing a game. And I'm like, fuck, man, like this is boys that I played with younger than me.
Getting on.
Did they give
I'm
it
not
to you a
saying they
bit?
didn't deserve it,
Yeah.
but I was like, fuck, man, like,
Did they give it to you in the change room?
yeah, I copped it. But then like to the way it happened, like, and even that Japan game, like that's the hardest game. Played against Matomo, Minamino.
How good are they technically?
Man, like for me, they're top 10 of the world.
Sorry.
Top 10. But
Sorry to cut you off. We've had a podcast for 18 months. And I've told him since day one, Japan are a top 10 nation in the
No.
world. You can go, he says no.
Yeah.
man,
I personally
Yeah,
think
they are.
that they're
Even Marin says.
no. When they are the hunter, they are great. In a World Cup, they're amazing. But when it comes to them being the best team in a competition, they don't know how to be the
Oh,
hunter.
they're fucking incredible. They're incredible.
anyway, they are
Yeah.
like,
No comment.
He says the rugby league is more tactics, and then
Yeah.
he says Japan outside top 10.
Oh,
Fuck me.
man,
Let Luke
tactically,
finish.
they are
Yeah.
Technically.
physically, technically, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like top. Physically, they're beasts. Like you don't know that, but physically, they're beasts. Bro.
You wouldn't think
Beasts.
so, but
Yeah.
No, 100%.
And they're like it's special because I don't know if you heard, but we were in traffic for like 2.5 hours before
Yeah, I
the
heard
game.
this. Yeah.
Boys were cutting. I had my torture bag out. My nail clippers were cutting lids off plastic bottles to piss in on the way to the game.
Shit.
There was no toilet on the bus. We were in traffic for 2.5 hours. We got there like 30 minutes before the game.
Oh my God.
So like I didn't really have time to think about what was happening and stuff like that. So everything that happens behind the scenes, it made it
So
more
much.
memorable.
And when did you know you were starting on the bus?
The day before,
Okay, you knew
Yeah,
the day before.
yeah.
Okay.
the night before.
Look, it's
How was that moment? Receive it, ring the wife, ring the mum.
Yeah, I didn't tell too many people. Just obviously,
Okay.
I kept it to myself.
Okay.
Told my missus.
Yep.
Told my parents. Because Ado got sick. He got the gastro, I think, the day before the game or something like that. So it was like, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was big. I say relief, but I was shit. Like I came back, and I played shit for like 2 or 3 weeks after that because I'd just reached like my goal.
I've done it. Like that's it. I
Martin
could
reckons
retire
there you go,
tomorrow,
you
and I'm there.
I
Hit it
was
and then
like,
we're done?
I came back and it was like
That
so
is fun.
emotionally like
Cloud nine.
I was like so high. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I've done it. I've no matter what happens now, no one can take this away from me.
Mm.
I didn't have the best game.
No.
It was the hardest game I've been a part of. I
Yeah.
barely touched the ball, which
Yeah.
isn't my strong. I would rather have played China and touched the ball 50
Yeah.
times, but
Yeah.
I didn't. But like when I came back, I said to the boys, "I'm so sorry. I was so shit for like 3 weeks. I was like depressed."
Yeah.
It wasn't
After
anything,
that high,
yeah, it wasn't anything to do with MacArthur or the boys or anything like that. It was
not
just
playing
like
with Marin every week for 3 weeks.
Nah,
you get excited playing with
I
Marin.
missed him, bro. But it was like you reach that high and then
Yeah.
you come back and it was tough.
100%. Like you've had a long, illustrious career, and you kind of had that last check. You've checked it off.
Last ticker
and-
box, yeah.
Yeah, like it's we get it. You know, sometimes you achieve things like we've had again nothing to the level of having a
Thanks,
Socceroos
thanks
cap.
for clarifying that. at the
But,
start,
like,
yeah.
There's moments in your life where you get there, and then you're just like, how am I going to live this down? And you go back to normality, and you're like, shit. But in terms of questions for you, I think that's pretty much it. There, we had something in mind for the two Croatian boys over there. We got a Croatian quiz.
Croatian quiz.
Yeah.
One's born in Crow.
No.
Oh
Look at Croatian flag.
my god, it is.
All right.
Buddy,
Luke,
so are we still going to be friends after this, regardless of the result?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
can you read there?
I'll let you answer on every one of them.
I'm still invited to the wedding and everything?
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
beautiful.
Easy.
All right, good.
All right. Can you read that from there, Luke?
He's not going to be able to say.
First question.
Oh my goodness.
We need buzzers.
Yeah, buzzer. Don't worry.
Just go.
You'll hear.
Say your name, Marin Thomas.
Sure.
Thomas.
There you go.
First question.
Who was Croatia's captain during their 2018 FIFA
Thomas.
World Cup run?
Modric.
Correct.
Bravo.
He's winning. of course.
Bro,
1-0.
bro. I
Next,
was thinking some trick question. I was like, whoa.
I was thinking, who made the question?
Yeah,
also, you can't answer it till the question's done.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Modric.
1-1.
No,
1-1.
No, it's 1-0.
way.
Yeah, thanks.
well, what's the next question? Modric as well?
Which Croatian forward scored against Germany in Euro 2008 group stage?
Thomas. Petric.
Incorrect.
2000 what?
8.
2008 group stage.
Ivica.
2008.
Ivica. Manju, hajde.
Mandzukic.
Incorrect.
Ivica
Ivica.
Olic.
Unlucky.
You've already answered it wrong, mate.
Ivica Olic.
All right,
How-
next
what-
one.
It was 15 years ago. Yeah, Mandzukic should play.
Yeah,
no?
Manju, yeah, Manju.
What
I
is
thought
the
I saw
name?
that. Okay,
What
go
is the name of the stadium where Dinamo plays its home games?
Beep.
Martin.
Maksimir.
A stadion, Maximilian. It's actually
I like it.
stadion.
I'll take Maximir as an answer.
Thank you.
Oh, hello.
All right.
How many questions are there, curiosity?
Luke,
Luke, how
1,
many?
2, 3, 4.
It's just round one.
Just round one.
Oh, fuck.
There's one more round after this. Which club did Croatian legend Davor Šuker play for when he won
check that, he's got
when he won the Golden Boot in
Beep.
the
Yeah, beep, beep.
1998 World
Hajduk.
Cup? Thomas.
Sevilla.
Wrong.
Hajduk, isn't it?
Oh! What, say again the question?
Which club did Croatian legend Davor Šuker play for when he won the Golden Boot at the 1998 World Cup?
Which club did he play for? In Croatia.
No.
No.
Which club did he play for when during that year?
Sevilla, and then he went to Madrid.
1998.
Madrid after.
Suka. Yeah. Real Madrid.
Correct.
Yeah. I was thinking which Croatian team. I was like, what? Croatian team. I was like, Hajduk. Then you are like, Hajduk.
How many times has Croatia reached the semi-finals or better in a FIFA World Cup?
Yep.
Thomas.
I'll check out.
Hey, surely they
Three.
Correct.
Bra.
Just stop.
All right. Last one. Bonus. Name 3 Croatians in the A-League. Men.
Beep.
women's. Thomas.
Wow.
Now, currently,
Well, it's finished. It's only
Yeah.
5 seconds.
Segacic, Jakolis, Milanovic.
Okay. Sweet.
Do we know the background from them?
Huh?
Do we know the
He was
background?
born in Croatia.
Mar-
I actually know
Mar-
that.
Born in Šibenik.
Someone
in 1990.
someone said that Marin's a fake
Yeah.
Croatian, so I don't think that
I don't
counts.
think that
That's a big
counts.
guy. That's-
Surely you cannot put them before Tommy and Ivan. They're born in Croatia.
Wow.
Someone said that's MacArthur boys.
Yeah, but where is Segacic born? Can you check that for me?
Bosnia Park.
Can you check that for me and check
Bosnia
for me?
My dad knows his dad. No.
Bosnia. So
Adrian.
how do we do
Segacic.
Croatians? Brats.
Money gets the point. Yeah, carry
Thank
on.
All
you
right,
very
there's no
much.
Wi-Fi. All right, round
Thank
2
you.
before we end it here.
Thank you.
Round 2. Which Croatian club did Luka Modric play
Beep.
for on
How
loan
long? It's funny. You
before
gotta wait till we get
before moving to Dinamo Zagreb permanently?
Beep.
Marin.
You don't even know.
Ne znam ja.
Inter Zaprešić.
Who?
Inter Zaprešić.
I don't think that's what he said.
Inter. Inter like Inter.
No,
Inter Zaprešić, no?
no.
Koju?
Ah, then I know
Ne
this
znam,
one.
izvini.
Do you not know?
Why are you looking at me? The fucking the
Zrin,
great-
Zrinski Mostar.
There's no Croatian club.
That's Bosnia.
That's Bosnia. That's okay.
That's null and void.
Yeah, Pepsi.
What the fuck?
The question's null and void.
What do you mean?
It's Bosnian.
But Croatia was Inter Zapreć 100%.
Okay,
one-
this question's
one
not
nil
on
Yarin,
board.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Why would you Croatian clubs win?
Next one.
Wow.
Quick. We
Who
got
scored Croatia's opening goal against England in 2004?
That's still false.
Oh,
before they finished the continent.
2004.
2004.
2004.
Croatian opening goal. In what? In World Cup or
Euro.
Euro. 2004. Dario Srna.
No.
I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah, I know.
Mandzukic has to be. Say,
MacArthur 2004.
These are harder questions, by the way.
Thanks. We got clarified by the null and void question from Bosnia.
Anyway, first one.
Petric.
fucking
Is it Petric?
Bokšić.
No, it's
Eduardo da Silva.
Kovac.
Kovac. Niko Kovac.
Nico je ovo.
Niko je moj brat.
Okay.
Također.
Ready? Which Croatian player
Roger.
scored a hat trick against Germany in the Under-21 European Championship
No, gospodin, šta je to?
in 2015?
I can't even say his name, bro.
Do you know it?
No.
Oh, fuck.
2015.
You might have been involved, buddy.
No, I was not. Under 21. Maybe this guy from Sada. What's his name?
Is he? Do you know him or no?
No, he don't know him.
What's his first name? Check out. Wait. Can
I
we get a
think-
clue?
Yeah, I think I know.
Okay, what's his first name?
He played in Sada.
Starts with S.
His first name?
It's him.
Who is it?
It's him. Right? Just leave me a sec. He played in Sada.
No, but what's his first name?
I'll give it away.
Steve Peric.
Correct.
I was going to say Atletico, so Leon Golman.
I know his name, but it's just I didn't know how. Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Steve Peric.
Last two.
I'm getting whitewashed.
Who was who was the Croatian player to score an own goal in the 2018 World Cup final?
Yep. Mandzukic.
Sweet. And last one.
2018.
Yeah.
Final.
6 years ago. How do you remember that?
Which Croatian club famously beat Aston Villa 3-2 in the UEFA Intertoto Cup in 2001?
Hajduk.
Beep.
Marin.
Čivani.
Shibini.
Čivani.
It was against Aston Villa. It was I think Vartex won it. I would say Vartex won it, but I'm not sure.
Odlive. Anyway, carry on.
Aston Villa. I don't know.
Slaven Belupo.
Fuck, I was not.
Luke Brattan, surprise question. Name me 5 Croatian players besides Luka Modric, Marin Jakolis, and Ivan Perisic. 10 seconds. 1.
Tommy Uskok.
Tommy
Ivan
fucking
Vuca. Nah,
Ivan, what's his name in Australia?
Who's cock?
Ivan is what? John.
Ivan.
John.
Oh, John. Yeah, his Australian name's John. Bullshit, bro.
All right. Boys, before we go, it's been an
yes.
absolute pleasure.
Boys, just something from our sponsor.
Yeah.
What's yours, Luke, over there?
So this is just basically a couple of stuff our sponsors got you, Marin for yourself,
Thank you very much.
and Marin's
Appreciate it.
brought one for Luke clearly as well.
Yeah, look, you get one.
Boys, just want to open it up to the camera.
Yeah.
Just a little sponsorship from our
Wow, I'm using it
Yeah.
tomorrow.
The golf course tomorrow.
the golf.
I'm using this tomorrow.
So they've got a couple of shirts, they got hats, and a water bottle. There we go, and a thank you card.
Thank you, Carl.
There we go.
Thank you.
Marin,
for
what
that.
does it say to the?
Thank you for coming on the show.
It's very neat handwriting over this.
For a great.
And for a great year of football. Keep strong and healthy from UBF.
Thank you very much.
Marin, I didn't write that. That writing's very bad.
Thank you very much.
It was meant to say thank you for ripping the Wanderers apart, but that's fine.
In Melbourne City days, or?
Yeah, let me see that.
Nah, boys, just from us, just want to say a massive thank you for coming on. Marin for being the brate, but for Luke as well. Never thought I'd be such good friends with the Sydney FC fan, but that's okay. That's one of them.
Good luck.
It's Luka Bratanovic. Thank you.
But Luke, seriously,
No,
thank you just from us.
Nathan.
And Marin,
Thank you.
follow us.
No worries.
Thank you so much. Abs, any words?
Nathan, it's been a pleasure.
What the fuck?
Thank you, Gigi.
Sorry for the last
GG.
year.
Show me that highlight now.
Luke, be honest. Out of his
last year.
goalkeeping performance,
Yeah.
is it when you saw that man walking 6'7" man, the size, the frame, did you think he could move that good or that bad?
He couldn't move.
I mean,
I couldn't move. I wasn't warmed
So
up.
into the
we were shooting free kicks at about 20%,
Yeah.
15%. Malachi was
That guy was doing that.
He was trying. He was trying his best.
He was trying.
I'll
He
show
did
you.
good, he did good.
I'll show you my prime days. Don't worry. Show you my prime days. I was moving like Gigi before.
We've heard about these highlights.
Yeah, I
right?
heard that.
So his moving is basically from step to step. And it was
I'll get out of here. You were a left wing cam turned into a left back because I was the only place left for you on the team.
Anyway,
I beg your pardon. Thank you.
yeah, the kurat said we're in the.
Yeah. Boys, seriously, it's been a pleasure. This episode, I think, might be one of our longer ones. But
Holy fuck.
that's crazy. But yeah,
What do I end?
Sorry.
Sorry, boys.
Sorry.
Also, big shout out to Marin. Marin, if you want to announce what happened today.
Yeah.
Bravo!
Bravo, Cine, bravo.
Yeah.
She's a lucky lady, Marin.
Got engaged. Have myself a fiance, not girlfriend anymore.
Very lucky man.
Very lucky
Very
man.
lucky
Now,
man.
is she more lucky or you're more
I,
lucky?
She
Grazie
is.
will tell you. Yeah, I think she.
No,
sorry,
he is. Other way. Sorry, other way.
No, it's
He is.
I am. I am.
where's the ring?
She got it, not me.
It's
He said he
2022.
dropped it. He said he dropped it.
I almost,
We're in the
I dropped
ocean.
it.
We got the way.
You didn't even know, man. I was in.
He looked at me like I did it. Like I dropped it.
I was in.
I didn't drop my stay.
I was in Cronulla, man.
I saw the story.
National Park, yeah. And I was up there, and I had Arvid and I see Jordan. He was with the drone up, and he was like the guy with the hat, and we just passed next to him, and Vanessa is like, oh, like I'm wondering what's he's doing here. He was the only guy there,
Oh wow.
and I was like, okay. And then we are just walking, and because I told her we are going for the lunch, whatever, blah blah blah. Long story short, she's there, and she's on the thing, and she's like, oh, it's nice for the photo, like. Do you mind taking a photo for me? And I took a photo like this fast, and I gave her a phone to check the thing. And I wrote a message, said, are we ready? He's like, yeah, all set. Like he's with photos, he's having drone, everything is set. And I go on my knee, and she turns around, she starts shaking and crying, and she's like this. And now I'm like, oh, like she's shaking. I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm taking this thing,
Yeah.
and I was here. I was like this first like 10 minutes, and I was like this, and then I had like like this. It was not like this. It was like this.
Oh,
so I
no.
opened up, and it was like sideways. And I was like, oh, sorry. And I turned it around, and I took it out, and I'm going to put it on her finger, and I'm like this, and she's shaking. But how she's shaking, I'm shaking as well towards her, and I'm like this, and I just drop it, and I look at it like Tom here next to my shoulder. I'm like,
Right next to the
Look, it's
cliff.
blind,
right.
Johnny.
I'm like this. I'm like this. And I was just like this.
Just fucking marry me.
Stop your fist.
I was shaking, and I was like, yeah. So, but it was nice. It was romantic.
Clinical and composed on the field.
Of course, yeah.
Off
Off the field, different story.
different.
Luke, did yours go similar to that? Or?
Yeah, mine was. Well, I've been engaged for like 7 years, but we haven't got married yet.
Yeah.
But I had a daughter at the time, so she wore a shirt with saying, "Will you marry
Oh, beautiful.
Dad?" And then she saw her running towards her, and then I was behind her, turned around, and it was at a winery.
Oh, you see?
Yeah,
Very
I wasn't that
Romantic,
nervous.
eh? Romantic.
I wasn't that nervous. We'd been
Yeah.
together a long time. We've
Yeah.
been together like 10 years or something like that. So it was.
That's
She had to
beautiful.
say yes. She didn't have a
Yeah.
choice.
Now, question out of you two, who do you think will get married first, me or Abs? We're ended on that.
You for sure.
I'll follow up that.
Sure.
I would say it's him.
Yeah.
Pressure that.
Why would you say that?
Why would you say that?
I just don't have the time at the moment and the mental capacity to give someone my full attention.
That's fair enough.
So I'd rather not put someone through.
He likes
Bravo.
the podcast now.
Bravo.
He likes the
No.
podcast.
Nah, that's not
If you-
even.
if
Married,
you're
he's
fine-
married to the game.
Yeah.
Which one?
Rugby,
NRL?
rugby apparently, more
football?
tactics.
Yeah.
Married to
They,
love.
I
they're
don't-
calling him for tactics apparently before every game.
He's
showing
cut
them-
by that. He's not
This,
gonna let
this
you.
has to be another episode.
This has to be
We'll
like.
do it again.
Yeah, like,
Absolutely.
what-
We'll-
what's
We'll run
that,
it back
man?
once Marin's back from Shibanik.
I'll send
I'll
you
see you
pictures.
there.
I'll send you the pictures. Don't
Oh,
worry.
thank you.
Last game Shibanik hide.
You know what? We'll give you a UBF shirt, one of our
Yeah, I
shirts,
will.
and like post a picture over there, like
I
you're on
will.
the mountains, and you're like,
Where's my brother, Luke?
I will be in front of his favorite stadium, Polywood. I'll be in front of
Careful, careful,
everything, whatever he wants. I'll be there.
I think he might.
um, it's been long enough, boys. We're gonna have to end it there. It's been an absolute pleasure. Luke, sounds like you're a bit of a romantic.
A little bit.
Big romantic.
Marin, I think we need to work on the.
Yeah.
Composure money.
You talk about
it's
my
hands.
handles. You talk about my
yeah,
handles.
Yeah, but legs are the one that hands I don't use, so I'm not used to.
I reckon you'd be a better goalkeeper than you.
100%.
And on that note, boys, I've been Abs,
I've been Thomas. You've been Luke Brattan. And
This
you've
is
been
Nathan.
Micho.
Mitchell. This has been UBF. Ciao, ciao.
It's been beautiful.
Oh, you're the
Oh,
boy.
boy.
Boys, thank you so much.